Greetings, family. This is Cassandra Floyd, also known as the Daughter of the Fates, founder of the Temple of Evolutionary Emergence. And I'm here this evening. I didn't plan to be, that's why I didn't do an alert earlier, but it was on me to do a live tonight. I just got out of my music class. And but I was like, you know what? I need to do a live tonight. I do have a live scheduled for tomorrow night that I think you guys are gonna love. Like once I got into it, I was just like, oh man. So tomorrow night, I'm doing a live, I believe at 9 o'clock. But tonight I had to do a live. So let's just first of all, let me just say, hold on. I, Cassandra Floyd, as a peculiar expression of the almighty and divine she, am joining in breath with my family to conspire on behalf of the whole made well. We are breathing these words together to ensure that our home, her body, is restored to her original perfect glory. A glory that is perfect in peace, love, bliss, happiness, and ecstasy. This world exists because we collectively will it so. We are the representatives of the Mother's reign on earth. This beautiful conspiracy is spoken as one cosmic earthly orchestra to guarantee heaven on earth. With the power of my mother, we welcome this glorious future into the now. It is as we say, Mommy and I are one. So I want to welcome you again for you late nighters. There's a lot that I want to do tonight in a little bit of time because I ain't trying to be on here all night. I got a lot to do. So the first thing is, before we even get started, I am going to ask a couple of logistical favors of you. Share this live with someone else. Send it to somebody, text it to somebody, post it on your Facebook, share this live. Secondly, first, share the live. That's big. Second, donations. So this is janky because I didn't realize until just now I didn't have my little board with me. So every now and again, I'll be posting this up just like this, janky as it is, and asking you to support the Temple of Evolutionary Emergence. And you can do that through Zelle, Venmo, or Cashapp. My Zelle is releaseheartcenter@gmail.com. Cassandra-Floyd on Venmo, and Cashapp is $ Daughter of the Fates. So I'll be posting that up every now and again. I'm going to ask you to subscribe, like, share, and join. Like, subscribe, share, and join. I'm also going to tell you that I'll do that so I don't forget. That if you become a member, what I'm going to start doing, I've been debating about this all week because there's so much I want to do and so many like frames of reference. You guys know that we started in the liver season doing the 5 elements workshop at the transition of every season. And it occurred to me late in the game that I did not do the what we call the Indian summer or the fall transition that began on the 22nd. So I'm going to be doing the spleen and stomach season, which is known as the Indian summer, right? I'm going to be doing that as a workshop, but I'm actually going to do it as a private YouTube. So that'll be for members only. So you're going to want to join my channel as a paid subscriber. Doesn't matter what level. This workshop that I will continue to do ongoing will only be for members only. Okay. So I'm going to do that on Friday. The spleen season 5 elements thing I'm going to do on Friday. Okay. So you'll get the notification if you are a member. So I encourage you to join. Yep. So that's one thing we're going to do. The other thing that we're going to do tonight is I haven't even done it. I'm going to do it live. I'm going to do a read for the temple these few hours before the eclipse. Okay, so I'm going to do a temple read. I haven't done a temple read in a long time, and I'm going to do this temple read. I'm going to do a brief temple read to encourage you. Greetings, Tajali. To encourage you to get your personal reading done between now and Thursday, when we are at the peak of this energy of this eclipse coming up on the 2nd, which is Wednesday. So we'll be doing that tonight. I will precede the read of the temple with some very important astrological information that you should know from today and literally the whole month of October. Like literally, there is not a day that is not important to take advantage of. And so much so, I'll tell you what I have developed as a ritual for myself for this month that I began today. Okay. So I think that was all. I love you too, Angelica. Hey, Claudia. Okay. Oh, Angelica, why you retract the message, girl? I love you too. Shoot. Anyway, yes. So that's that. Let's just talk about the personal readings. So I'm still going to be talking about the personal readings throughout this thing. I really want you to see the readings, and hopefully somebody, I haven't figured out how to do that yet. So I'll have to do that later. Shit. Because I'm not using the StreamYard just because it's so janky. But hopefully some people who have gotten readings from me can be in the live chat and talk about your reading, right? Because I gas myself up, you feel me? I think that I am highly gifted, you feel me? But it is helpful for others to come on and talk about the experiences that they have had when getting readings from me. I want you to see your reading, any reading that you get from me. I want you to see it as a tool for preparation, a tool. I'm talking about this all the time. The significance of astrology and how it's been used against us. And now that we know better, now we can use this as an instrument that helps us navigate through our lives, not in some disembodied, disingenuous way. Because, baby, let me tell you, being up in here, doing a little study for the last 48 hours to get ready to talk to you guys about why you need to power up. And we did this before. With the April 8th eclipse this year, and with the October 4th, the October 14th eclipse last year. We're finishing out that entire cycle this week with this eclipse. And so I'm telling you, like, look, I want to tell y'all about some of my dreams, but it would take all night. My dreams every single day for the last 2 weeks since that lunar eclipse, my dreams have been off the chart, like over the fucking top. You understand? And so not only my dreams, man, my daydreams, my waking dreams, I'm like, okay, this is a lot, y'all. This is a lot. So I want us, plus October is monumental and it's important, but for not only for astrological reasons, not only for quote spiritual reasons, but those that are playing games in our face right now politically, this is the time that they power up, that they go hard, they go ham on their propaganda campaign to secure that all your power that you have, all your mental energy, all your power, all your breath is expended on that which they put in front of you. And if you're doing that all the time, like, people have been really wanting to, win me into debates about the upcoming election, about all the things. You feel me? And it's a lot. And I'll be honest, it's been really difficult. It's been really difficult to like try to sidestep that shit. You know what I'm saying? But this month we have to be deliberate. We have to be deliberate. This is like the grand hoorah before this election. And I am telling you, they've already started. Mark my words. There is not going to be a shortage of distractions this month. Can you take that energy that you would have yielded towards indulging those distractions? Can you take that same energy, that same enthusiasm, that same power, and yield it in your favor? You understand? Yield it in the interest of your wishes, heart's desires, demands, things you want to see happen in society, whatever. Just for a moment. You understand? And that's the theme. That's the theme, is that because of these certain energies that I'm going to be talking to you about that are in play with each other this whole month, there are going to be no shortages of distractions that are going to attempt to siphon your power. And this is your power up month. There's going to be no shortage of distractions trying to function like an energetic vampire off all your waking thoughts. That's word. You feel me? So we can get, I think that's all. Oh, so the reason I started that is to say, get a reading. You can get a reading any time of the month, but the big giant dates to do that is, like I said, today, September 30th is huge. Yeah, I recognize the day is over, but I'm up in here. You feel me? Today was huge. Tomorrow is huge. The 2nd is huge. The 3rd is huge. The 9th is massive. Hold on. I'm going to talk to you about all these things. Let's see. What is it? The 17th is massive. You feel me? On and on and on and on and on. When I tell you every day of the month, I'm trying to tell you every day of the month. So book your reading. I say it all the time. I would prefer you book your reading with me, obviously, right? But even if you cannot book a reading, a divination with me, you have a regular that you go to, you have somebody that you already work with, still applies. For the next 3 days, get a reading. Those 3 days, bigger than any other day of the month, except maybe the 17th. Get your readings and stop playing games with your motherfucking future. That's how serious it is. If you do not get some form of divination in the next 72 hours, you are playing games with your future. You playing games with your future. It's like playing darts over your back with a blindfold. You feel me? So that's all I got to say about that. If you want to book a reading with me, so I'm running a special right now until the end of October 9th, right? So I'm running a special right now where if you book a 60-minute reading with me, I will gift you one of my goddess pieces, which is $54.99 on my website. You will get that for free if you book a 60-minute session. If you book a 60-minute session, a 30-minute session, so that's a 60-minute. You book a 30-minute session, then I will gift you a dog tag. Okay. And y'all saw one of my dog tags the other night with the link with the Nina Simone on it. Okay, cool. That's out of the way. So again, for those of you who came on late, I know it's janky. Don't judge. I came literally right in the house from a music class and sat right down to do this. Okay. So, again, this is my, if you want to make a donation of any amount, it is always appreciated. My Zelle is releaseheartcenter@gmail.com. The Venmo is Cassandra-Floyd, and Cashapp is $ Daughter of the Fates. Okay, I'll be doing that throughout. All right, so let's talk about this month. I'm talking really fast because I'm trying to be disciplined with my time. Let me read some of these comments, but I'm really trying to be disciplined. I'm not trying to be on here all night. I have a lot to do still. Let's see. Claudia Onk says, I swear this is a conspiracy. I cannot see the link to join Cassandra's membership. Hold on. Let me see what's going on with that. Shoot. And I can't even check it while I'm on here. Hold on. If somebody can help Claudia Onk with that, she's not the first person to mention it, but if you're watching live, it should be a way down below the bottom of the screen. Stop it right now. I mean it. Stop it. I'm going to put y'all asses up. Cut it out. Cut it out. Let's see. Yeah. If anybody can. Oh, Claudia Onk says, yay. She says, I highly recommend a reading with Cassandra. It's a wonderful experience. Thank you. Let's see. Angelica Duena says, I haven't had an official reading, but all advice and intuitive guidance has been 100% on point. Thank you. I have been dream weaving intentional dreams. Now got to work on lucid dreaming. Let's see. Yeah, I thought I joined already. Okay, so with the lucid dreaming, I don't know if you guys remember what I told you maybe a couple of months ago, but either start drinking mugwort tea or burning more mugwort in your room before you go to sleep. Mugwort will help induce lucid dreams. Shit, can't find. Okay, so apparently there is some problem with you guys getting notifications and trying to find the link. Okay, so if you look in the description, try it this way. If you look in the description of this live video, the first thing you should see is a link that says join this channel. I put it actually in the description as a link because I know some people were having problems. So see if you can find it in the description for this video. All right. Okay. So okay. So I'm going to keep going because we have a lot to cover and I'm not trying to be on here all night. Okay. All right. So I'm just going to run through a list of significant dates for this month. And okay, it says ads will run shortly for some viewers. So that is a logistical thing that I want to talk to you guys about. Damn, what the hell? Okay, I'm gonna have to figure it out later, but y'all got to join, and it may not be something I can work out until after the live is over. But it says ads are going to start. I have ads placed in this. Please watch the ads. If they're long, go ahead and skip them. But I think it's like if you watch the first 30 seconds of an ad, that's good. Okay. So anyway, there are some kinks I'm gonna have to work out with this thing. But just rock with me. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's see. All right. Okay. So starting today. So today, we've talked about this in the past because there was another one, I believe, in June, but there's this concept, and it's not across. So there's going to be some things I'm going to be talking about. Plus, there are 2 links in the description below of the astrologers that I am referencing in terms of where I got the information for today's, for what I'm going to talk to y'all about. So the dates and all of that stuff. There are 2 astrologers in the links below. I talk to y'all about one of them all the time, Astrology Report, and then the other one is Lunatic Astrology. So both of those are linked. Both of those links are directly to their interpretation of what's going to be happening not only this month, but particularly with the eclipse on the 2nd. Okay, so I wanted to reference that. All right. Okay. So today is a Kissimmee in Mercury. All right. Now, one of the things that Lunatic Astrology was talking about that I thought was really fascinating about the Kissimmee was she was talking about the week prior to the Kissimmee. Certain things about the Kissimmee were indicative of like a head of state dying. And just 3 days before she did that live was the attack on, I think it was the head of state and with Hezbollah. I forget, but y'all been talking about it for the last few days. But anyway, y'all know who I'm talking about. Oh, thank you, Chloe Dior. Can you tell people how you found it? So Chloe Dior just became a member. So when you sign up for membership, or if you are already a member, now they give me this little it's like a spreadsheet of all my members. But if you join, I don't know how YouTube hasn't worked this out already, but if you join, it doesn't mean I have contact. I don't have contact of yours at all. So when you join, make sure to send me an email right away and say, I am a member, in the subject header. I am a member. So I can consolidate my spreadsheet. I am a member, and then tell me who you are and what your actual name is, right? And then that way you can, I will send you direct email alerts, also with the YouTube alerts when I'm doing the members only videos and workshops. Okay. So make sure, if you are currently a member or if you join, make sure to send me an email that says in the subject header, I am a member. Okay. Please do that, because there's no way for me to know like what your actual name is. Does it differ from your email? It doesn't have your email address or anything like that. So anyway, do that. Claudia Ankara, thank you so much for your membership. Come on in the room, y'all. All right. So the Kissimmee, so it was interesting because she was saying the Kissimmee in one of the aspects. Hold on, let me put these cats up because they doing the damn most. Y'all know y'all doing the most. Trifling. Chocolate ice. Look. Anyway. Okay. So all right. So that was, and that's not the first time that's happened, where I like her astrology. Plus with Lunatic Astrology, not only does she do like a really thorough overview of the like political implications of these coming events, but then she breaks down in chapters what these movements mean in your personal life. So you can go to your sign without watching the whole thing. You can go to your sign, and then it tells you how to personally prepare for your sign these coming events. So I really encourage, and everybody that's gone to her YouTube channel has been pleased. Like, I feel like she's really thorough. Astrology Report, I am obsessed with because of the fact that they do these same wormholes I'll be going into. They do these deep analytical wormholes about past astrological and astronomical events that are the same as coming astrological events, as a way to kind of see what the potential energy and impact will be. So I really like that, how he uses the past as an indicator for what energetic possibilities, either way, either extreme, can happen with these corresponding astrological occurrences. So both of those, I encourage you, both of those links are in the description. All right. So the Kissimmee, which is today, September 30th in Mercury. And what a Kissimmee is any planet that is, quote, in the heart of the sun, meaning that they are transiting between 0 and 1 degrees from the sun. So while the Kissimmee has these implications about leadership, because it's Mercury, this particular Kissimmee also has personal implications in your personal relationships, relationships around love and communication. So in a positive way. So just be on the lookout for that. So today, Mercury Kissimmee, big, right? October 1st. The other thing that I was going to mention about lunatic astrology is that there are several astrologers now that are paying much more attention to popular asteroids, dwarf planets, comets and their potential impact in the whole astrological picture. Lunatic Astrology is one of those who really goes in on the asteroids that might be having an important impact in the period. So tomorrow, as a matter of fact, before dawn, tomorrow, October 1st, I don't know if y'all been hearing about this comet that we're going to see. We'll be able to see in the pre-dawn skies until October 12th. So starting tomorrow, the Comet Atlas, it's something Atlas, but people are calling it the Comet Atlas to shorten it. The Comet Atlas becomes visible tomorrow in the morning after 80,000 years. So it's been 80,000 years since this comet has been on this part of the galaxy visible from Earth. The asteroids, honey, Cassandra have been talking. Cassandra's been talking loudly. Let's see. The mercurial energy has been so strong today, especially about to have a lunar return. So after 80,000 years, we're going to be able to see Comet Atlas from tomorrow to October 12th. And she talks a lot about the energy of comets, especially comets historically being signs or omens, not just having like a basic astrological significance, but them being viewed with a certain, because of their rarity, but them being viewed as omens or signs. And in this month, this month being what it is, there's something else I need to talk with you about the significance of this month that is more about numerology, which I find really fascinating. Okay. But because of the energy this month, be looking for, quote, signs and omens. I said this a couple of weeks ago. In reference to something else, but how this period, especially not even astrologically, just October and November. Yes, it was. Maybe it was the last live I did. I was saying in general, it always struck me, but I didn't understand why until recently. Why the time of the year, where we should be the most slowed down, especially in the Northern Hemisphere, the time of the year that we should be the most slowed down, the time of the year that we should be indoors more, relaxing more, right, is when everything in this society kicks into overdrive, like deliberately against our natural rhythm, right? And that always struck me, like as soon as September comes, as soon as the baby's back in school, shit is wide open. Holiday after holiday after holiday after holiday. I got to buy this, I got to buy that, I got to save for this, I got to do that. It's just like everything just kicks into radical overdrive at the period in our lives every year where if we were living cyclically, we would naturally begin to slow down. Our activities, our social interactions, everything would naturally slow down to prepare us for the winter months, right? And so I was like, damn, what the fuck is that about? You know, we talked about it a little bit when I was talking about, I think it was in the last live, I was talking about time changes and the studies that have been done that shows the impact of time changes, you know, not our natural equinoxes and solstices, but I'm talking about on those events, the equinoxes and the solstices, well, on the equinoxes, how these people done manipulated time, done change time. You fall back or you spring forward, you feel me? And the impact, the measurable impact that has had on human beings. Depression, increase in suicide, increase in violent crimes around the first week or so of that time change. Greetings, voiceover by Stephanie Marie. Listen, so where was I going with that? Oh, so October and November, naturally, if we were living cyclically and rhythmically, we would be preparing. We would be slowing down, right? We would be coming out of the harvest. We would be slowing down, getting, stocking, preparing, canning and jarring. If we was living cyclically, you feel me? Canning and jarring in preparation for the winter months, right? But because we become literally our most distracted during this time of the year, I'm like, well, of course it's purposeful, but why? Well, I'm going to talk to you about, I'm going to be throwing a lot at y'all. So I hope y'all taking notes because I'm giving y'all gold tonight in preparation for these next 3 days. Okay. But anyway, these are the months every culture on earth historically has seen October in particular, but October and November as the months set aside to venerate ancestors. They say that this is the time where the veil is the thinnest, where our ancestors have the ability to walk the earth and impact our lives, right? That this is the time that we're supposed to be sitting deeper in ceremony as the days are getting shorter and shorter and shorter since September 22nd. The days are the sun, the daytime is getting shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter until the solstice on the 21st, on December 21st, which is when the sun, because right now the sun is dying. That's what these months mean. The sun is dying. Okay. The sun is slowly dying. The sun is slowly meeting its end, its perceived end, right? And it is not until the winter solstice that the sun makes its little transition, dies on the cross, is buried, and resurrects 3 days later, predicting that now it's coming back. It's coming back. It's getting longer. It's getting longer until the equinox, the equal division of night and day that happens on the spring equinox. You see what I'm saying? And the spring equinox is the predictor of the sun becoming emboldened, which is the summer. You feel what I'm saying? And so right now we're in this period where the sun is dying, where the moon is triumphing over the sun. And this is when we get busiest, is the time that we should be slowing down to welcome our ancestors into the terrain, to venerate and welcome in the spiritual world, to become more introverted, to become more present. See, if we were living cyclically, it would make sense that we wouldn't be as present in the spring, in the summer, because it's hot, the days are longer, we can get more done. So we out here planting seeds, we digging the earth, tilling the earth, you feel me? We having baby, we getting pregnant in the spring, you feel me? We're doing all of these things that naturally would make it so that we're not as present in the more active, seasonally active months. And here we are in this society that's been flipped upside down, where the time that we are supposed to be the most introspective, the most reflective Scorpio season, right? The time where we are supposed to be processing, have the ability time-wise to process, so that when we emerge in the spring, we are better in the spring than we were the year before, because now we've had adequate time in those darker months to sit in ceremony, to be with spirit, to be surrounded by our ancestors, and so on and so on and so on. So it makes sense that as the moon is triumphing over the sun, these people are trying to make you the busiest that they can, the most distracted that they can in the months that are supposed to be your power months. Your power months are these months between fall and winter. These are your power months. This is your sleep phase. Remember I was talking to y'all about 2 months ago, maybe a month ago, about the sleep phase, and how the sleep phase is when magic happens. All the labor, all the toil, all the things, all the information that you took in, everything is processed in the sleep phase. Everything is not only processed, it becomes a part of self. These integration of ideas that now become a part of you that can change your behavior. This happens during the sleep phase. You feel me? And also, I talked to you about, based on the Women's Encyclopedia of Myths and Secrets, when she talked about how the temple whores in multiple cultures did what? They kept the hours of the night. They secured the hours of the night. They thrived in the hours of the night in preparation for the sun. I'm saying the same thing. I'm talking about the night. But the winter is the night. The winter season is the night of the year. From the fall equinox to the end of winter, really, but to the winter solstice is the night. It's the night of the year. And so while they got us busy running around, holiday, money, work overtime for Christmas, it's impossible for you to be present. And if it's impossible for you to be present, it's easy to manipulate you, and it's easy to manipulate you through distractions. That's a huge thing for this month. Massive, gargantuan, no shortage of distractions. I get it. There are many things people are energetically giving energy to right now because they seem important. But when you find yourself, like I did today, and I had to check myself in real time. When you find yourself dumb scrolling blindly, when you went on your phone to do one thing and all of a sudden you're checking your notifications, you're this and this and this and this, I would say, before you give any energy to anything you read, any video you see, say, is this subject important to my life right now? Is this video significant in my life right now? I know it's hard because the last week I have given so many hours to distractions. And when I tell you, I literally had to yank my chain today. Because again, man, I get it. Black people, we be so involved. And I'm not just talking about Black folks, but I'm saying a lot of the stuff over the last week, which I don't think is actually over the last 2 weeks since that lunar eclipse, has been Black significant events that have been fighting like hell to steal your energy. The shits and giggles dudes, the P. Diddy thing, Diddy getting arrested on the lunar eclipse. I'm convinced it's not an accident. What else? The baby daddy thing with Cardi B. There is no the brother getting executed. There is no shortage. Why are they targeting? Because I feel like a lot of this stuff is a target to Black folks. I feel like it's a target. We are so easily distracted, and they need us distracted more now in this month, October, because they went ham in September. If you go back to the list of day-to-day massive events that happened, and these massive events, occurrences, distractionary occurrences, happening at the same time that these other events are happening on other sides of the world. You feel what I'm saying? And we who have been the definers, Black folks, of progressive movement forward in this country, progressive leaps forward in this, we have been the definers of progressive movements, of progressive motion, leaps forward that we make, that everybody benefits from. Everybody benefits from the leaps forward initiated by Black people. Everybody historically in this bitch has been able to win something for themselves as a consequence of the radical progressive leaps forward initiated by Black people in America. And so, of course, it becomes the interest seeing this tendency. Of course, it becomes a necessity. In this election, in this month before the election, to make sure that your brain is proliferated with as much junk as possible. Now, I'm not saying that the events that have been happening do not have social implications. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that socially they are not important. I'm not saying that. What I am saying for this month, for you in general, anybody watching, red, black, brown, yellow, white, for this month, narrow your focus, narrow your vision, turn in, come home. You feel me? For this 1 month, ask yourself, this is what it means to be present. Ask yourself, is what I am about to see. You see a little video that has a big popular headline and you about to click on the video. Before you click on the video, ask yourself, is this important in my immediate life right now? And if the answer is no, move on. Move on. Let me slow down and read some of y'all comments. KKK. Yup. Those crazy AIDS. Oh my God, AIDS. Yup. Come on. Yup. Yup. Goddess Essence Energy says, I was just watching that live where you were talking about the sleep phase today, and it hit because so many people have been so sleepy, and I'm like, I know what that is. Yes. Janet Kennedy, winter is when I make tinctures, oils, and teas. I'm actually going to be talking about that tomorrow on the live that I have scheduled for 9:00 tomorrow. The one that's called Pine Cone Magic and Mystery or something like that. I'm actually going to be talking about that. Most definitely so purposeful, so strategic. Yes, absolutely. So many crazy distractions. Yes. Death, but not only death, but distraction comes in bundles. Yes. It is emotionally invested into too many things. Yes. So true. They're praying, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So you think about how much energy we have expended, and I've been guilty of it. So this is not a judgment. How much energy we have expended, even minimally, commenting on anything that had to do with Cardi B, commenting on anything that had to do with Diddy, commenting on anything that had to do with whatever the barrage of distractions that have been targeting Black people for the last 2 weeks. How much collective energy we have expended in that. Does it serve us? Does it serve anything significant? Does our contribution, our energetic contribution to these discussions sway the outcome of those situations at all? And so that's what I know it's a struggle, baby, because I know today was hard. Today was hard because part of my detox, which I'll talk about a little bit later, has been to be really diligent. So much so I think that for the month, I might even at least delete my apps, my social media apps off my phone just to not be tempted, because that shit was hard. That was it. Like making the commitment that I'm not going to have my apps on my phone for a month and shift all of my work to my laptop. That because it's a lot more deliberate. It takes a lot more energy for me to work on my app, that I don't ever check my Facebook on my laptop. I don't ever check my TikTok on my laptop or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I think I am going to do that. Just go ahead, because today was hard. Today was the first day, and today was hard. Trying to not push my little lit up notifications. Ooh, I got notifications. That instant dopamine thing that they got down to a T. You feel me? So anyway, I'm saying with us, all of us, but Black folks in particular, because this Pluto returns that we're in, this Pluto returns that we are in, we Black people are heavily implicated in her move, in her trek through this period. We are heavily implicated. Native people, Northern Hemispheric indigenous people are heavily implicated in this America's first Pluto return. Black and Native people more than anybody. Everybody is implicated. especially everybody who has been traumatized collectively in some way by the establishment of America. Mexican people, so-called Mexican people, South, Central and Southern American indigenous people, Asian people of all varieties, Koreans, Japanese, Chinese, you feel me? Anybody who has suffered at the hands of the establishment of America are implicated in this America's first Pluto return. But the two groups of people that are most implicated in the outcome and completion of this return phase is Black and red people. They are the most implicated. And so it becomes, and the thing is with indigenous people, with native people, a great majority of them are stuck in so-called third world countries, sovereign nations called reservations, where a lot of the time their access to information and our access to what's happening to them is real. It's real. It's like they're invisible. Like this country has made it so that native people are damn near invisible. And that's for a reason, because if native people weren't, quote, socially invisible, we would be confronted all the time with the fact that genocide never ended, that the genocide of indigenous people never ended, never even ebbed. And this country cannot afford for us, Black people, brown people, yellow people, to empathize with the people most victimized in this country since its inception, which is native people, which is red people here. You feel me? So with their forced invisibility by the state, we become Black people. We become the primary targets of their propaganda campaign, because there is a internal knowing among every group in this country that when Black people set some shit off, it's going to be set all the way the fuck off. And if we jump on the train of what Black people set off, we all going to come up. That's a word. That's a word. That's a word. If Black people set the shit off and we jump on board, everybody coming up. And so we become the target. Watch what I'm telling you over the next month. We become the primary target for the most vicious propaganda campaign that I believe will be unleashed on us over the next however many days we got to this election. What is it? Like 48 days to the election? Watch. So if you are not present, if you ain't up on game, you feel me? You can listen to 1,000 astrologers, but they ain't going to put you up on game. They're just going to tell you, these are the astrological alignments. This is what it means in a global overview. But they don't have the foresight to say, what does this shit mean for Black folks in the height of a Pluto returns? What does this mean for indigenous people in the height of a Pluto return, which a Pluto return guarantees that the nation of the return has to face the origins of its birth. What are the origins of American birth? The genocide of Native people and the enslavement of Africans. That's it. What did Marx call it? He likened this process, the birth of America. He said it is tantamount to the original sin in the Bible. Pluto return forces a nation to face its inception, itself at birth. And that is why the aggressions against Black people have increased. It's an attempt to escape judgment as opposed to accept responsibility and adjust accordingly. This is a nation I'm talking about. It's an attempt to escape judgment, That's the action, because everything becomes the issue with Black people, but the issue. So everything, including the execution of this African, y'all don't remember because you ain't old enough, but that is not new. A Black person being a ritual sacrifice on the slab of some motherfucker trying to become the president as a code way to tell the white people of the world, it don't matter. We ready to do what we got to do. Clinton did the same thing. Clinton oversaw while he was running for president, Clinton oversaw the execution of a mentally diagnosed mentally ill, learning disabled man who everybody said was innocent, but he wanted to make sure that even though he was a Democrat, that all the white people knew that he was going to crack down on crime. And the way that y'all understand what that means is I have to oversee the ritual sacrifice of some black person. That's what that means. That's what y'all witnessed with the execution of this brother last week. That's what y'all witnessed. Was a ritual sacrifice, was a blood offering. I'm just telling you. Just like clockwork, they started talking about him right when they executed him. Like, yeah, you feel me? You have to see what it is you're seeing. You feel me? And so, where was I going with that? What was my last thought? Shit. Oh, yeah. You understand? Not only that, the execution of this brother, I had not heard anything about him, and I'd be up on game. I had not heard anything about this brother. I had not even heard his name until when? 2 weeks ago, during the lunar eclipse. How come there hasn't been a campaign that's been happening for months that was as visual as this one was? That hadn't been happening for a month, hadn't been happening for 2 months, hadn't been happening for 4 months. How is it that we begin to know his name and the peculiarities around his campaign the week of the week of the lunar eclipse, and we ain't heard nothing? Because they wanted us to watch. They didn't want us to have enough time to influence the outcome. They wanted to have enough time to get us invested energetically so that we can bear witness to this ritual sacrifice, and it would demoralize us. I'm just telling you what it is. I was crystal clear. I was like, I'm up on game. I'm still a political activist. I'm up on, how am I not even hear anything about this brother's name until 2 weeks ago? Was the campaign not going in August? Was the campaign not going in July, June, a year? Have people not been fighting to have him exonerated for years? Had there not been videos made by this brother from behind the walls? Yes, but we en masse didn't see any of that. There was a reason. The outcome was going to be what it was. It was going to be what they needed it to be. And so we could not be up on game en masse, writing to the senator, demanding a stay of execution and all of that shit. It became mass. It became a viral event only at the juncture that they knew that there would not be enough time for us to really mobilize and to really have an impact on the outcome, but just enough time for us to be emotionally outraged, invested, directed in the direction that they wanted us to. So when they did the execution, when they did the ritual sacrifice, we would all be watching. We would all know, and we would all be collectively demoralized. They needed us to witness this ritual sacrifice. That's what they needed. You feel me? And I'm telling you, that's how you have to begin to see. That's how you have to begin to see everything that is happening. There is a purpose way beyond and way deeper than what you see. Can you see it? That's what this month demands, by the way, is can you see the deeper implications? And I'm not saying watch, I'm saying see, because I'm still telling you to divert your energy from those things that if you ask yourself the question in a moment, if I click on this video, is this in some way going to enhance, feed, nurture, strengthen my personal self and life in this moment? Is it something that I need to know in this moment? And if it is not, move on for the time being. That's what I'm saying. And so this Diddy shit, we've been hearing about this for 2 years, y'all. But they waited till the lunar eclipse to kick the shit into overdrive. We've been hearing about Diddy for 2 years. All of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just telling you that energy. I didn't mean to go off on it that long, but Man, it's deep, and bypass it. Bypass it, bypass it, bypass it, bypass it. I prefaced by saying these months where the moon triumphs over the sun, where the night triumphs over day, from the solstice to, from the equinox to the solstice on December 21st. This is your power up, integration, reflection, closing out time. It's your time. It's your hibernation from the madness of society time. It's your it's your process. It's yours. You feel me? That doesn't mean not to be empathetic with what is happening in the world. It means to not be directed by the manipulation of your emotions to what is happening in the rest of the world. Right? Okay, so I'm done with that. Feel me? So manifestation, and there's some other things contributing that's going to make manifestation a part of the whole month. The idea of manifestation, especially using your words in manifestation. It's the underlying theme for the whole month. Okay. Next, we talked about the comet. We talked about the Kazemi, right? Then I don't know if you saw, but until November 25th, it started in October, on August 7th, but it's only been visible since September 27th. So this second moon that we currently have, there is a small asteroid that has been caught up in Earth's orbit, and they're calling this asteroid a mini moon. Its name is 2024 P15, I think. But we have a mini moon that is caught up in the fuck, I can't even think now, in the orbit of Earth until November 25th. Now, it cannot be seen by the naked eye, but you can see it with a telescope. So there are a lot of people talking about this mini moon and what its potential implications are, whatever. Okay, moving right along, because we still got a lot of dates to discuss. And then we're going to shift gears to the read. Okay. So that's the mini moon. Okay. Voiceovers by Stephanie Marie. Happy belated, dear. Okay. So October 2nd is it is an annular eclipse, a ring of fire eclipse in Libra. It will not be visible in the United States. It'll only be visible in South America and the Pacific Ocean, but we will still feel the energetic impact of any eclipse. It's still a lunar event. Okay. This eclipse in Libra is in the South Node, and which is called the Dragon's Tail. The South Node is the Dragon's Tail. So in correspondence, so I should say this, on October 2nd, there is not only the lunar eclipse, but it is happening within the context of what they're calling a grand trine that Venus rules, but the grand trine is with Saturn, Mars, and Venus in the water signs, right? In Pisces, South Node, right? And so they say that this trine is so impactful. Also, Mars trine Saturn on today too, and the sun is conjunct Mercury. Big shit. But this grand trine that is happening on the 2nd has not happened since 1994. And so the general rule of thumb is to go back and Google major events of 1994. Oh yes, the South Node is right on my Sun trine and my Uranus, and also conjunct Chiron opposite my Saturn. So if you want to get an idea of the significance, because I remember 1994, it was a year after I graduated high school. And there were major events happening. So that's what I would tell you to do. I'm not going to go that deep with y'all tonight, but Google major events of 1994 to get an idea of how magnificent this grand trine is going to be coming up on the 2nd. Okay. Then, let's see. So that's the 2nd. I'm going to go through the major dates and then I'm going to talk about some of the particulars. Let me see. I hope y'all are writing this down. Okay. All right. So the next thing, which is what I've been talking to y'all about at the beginning, Jupiter stations retrograde in Gemini on the 9th. This too is big. Gemini energy is communication. It's big ideas. It is really great for doing business, engaging in new art or music ventures, creativity. And it also governs, it's interesting, it governs like your behavior, typically addressing your behavior when it comes to food or drinks. So like it's a good time to be addressing any addictions. I felt judged, I'll be honest, because I'd already been saying for a week in preparation for October, this little detox I'm going to do in October, I'd already been saying that I don't need to spend any money eating out this month. That's a commitment. No eating out this month of October as a part of my detox, because I'm single. I live here by myself. And so I don't be disciplined about cooking because it's hard to cook for one person, you know, without wasting food. I always cook big because I always had family. Anyway, so that was one commitment I was going to make to myself. And then the other thing was that I was not, because I'm not going to stop drinking. But what I did make the commitment to do was I was only going to drink red wine this month. Oh shit. So Rosalie said the 1994 Zapatista uprising. Okay. I like that energy. Thanks for that. Adeseli. Sorry. Adeseli. Thank you for that. Thank you. As a matter of fact, let me take a note. 1994. But not only big things. Yes, do that research that Adeseli just did. Find out what major events happened in 1994, but also go back to your life. This is part of the being present and being retrospective. Go back, if you were alive then, go back to your own life and see what was happening, what big changes, what big transitions were happening in your own life in this year. There's another year I'm going to tell you about a little later that you need to be really introspective about because it's huge. Okay. Yes. Let's see. Oh yeah. So I was saying, I'm not going to stop drinking, but what I am going to do is only drink red wine. That's the commitment that I'm making because I love a margarita. Tequila and vodka are my drugs of choice. You understand? But I made up my mind that my discipline for this month is going to be red wine only. And then some, I'll tell you some other things that are happening because I feel like that's important for y'all to know too. But anyway, so Jupiter stations retrograde in Gemini on October 9th. Okay. I'm just say these really fast and then I'm gonna go back. October 11th, Pluto stations direct in Capricorn. Since September 2nd, when Pluto re-entered Capricorn for the last time on September 1st, Pluto was in retrograde. So Pluto has been in retrograde motion in Capricorn since September 1st. Pluto is going to station direct this month on October 11th. This is huge. It is about struggle centered around power dynamics. So that might be your personal life. It most definitely will be, given the energy that we're already witnessing, that I already talked to you about, it most definitely will be global power struggles. But we need to be focusing on our lives. This is our power up time. You feel me? And so what does this mean? With some of the other movements that are happening, it's leaning towards like family, friends, social circles, like really evaluating the power dynamic between family members, older or younger siblings, children, your social network, who you've been calling friends, can they remain friends? All like that kind of power dynamic, right? So the direct motion is, it's more impactful, it's more jarring, and it's going to have a lot of impact. Okay, that's on October 11th. October 13th, Mercury enters Scorpio. Okay, I'll talk to you about that a little bit more. October 17th is the full moon in Aries. This is the other giant, magnanimous, hugely important event of the month. The full moon in Aries represents the completion of the cycle that began with the new moon in Aries that occurred on April 8th. The big solar eclipse that happened on April 8th. That was the new moon in Aries. So this full moon in Aries occurring on October 17th is the completion of that cycle. So this really has the potential to be good news for us, because whatever prayers, whatever conspiracies, whatever wishes that we made on that April 8th eclipse are coming to fruition around this time. Around the full moon in Aries, the prayers that we made, the conspiracies that we cast, the wishes that we made, this is the time for those to be coming to fruition, is the completion of the cycle. And so the recommendation, I forget who made it. Maybe it was a website. Let me say this real quick. Anyway, I forget I can't remember. So it's not mine, but the recommendation that I made, that was made about the energy, the impact of this full moon in Aries on October 17th, is that we, knowing that our blessings, our wishes are coming, because this full moon guarantees it. Whatever we prayed for, whatever we were meditating on during the eclipse, that's why I told y'all, don't be trusting these motherfuckers that tell you don't do shit on the eclipse. Because here they talking about, you need to be making prayers. You need to be casting conspiracies. You need to be asking for shit. You need to be in ceremony during the eclipses. What would be the point of being of not doing nothing? Oh, the energy's too big. You can't cast spells. You can't do this. You can't do that during the eclipse. And then they tell you, if you did the work on the eclipse on April 8th, big shit is coming. It's guaranteed. So the energy on the full moon itself, it should be the energy of gratitude. And the recommendation that was made is because of the energy of Aries, which is a fire sign. So the recommendation was made, it might be a grand, especially because it's October, it's the witchy time of the year, is to have a grand bonfire. And in the bonfire, offer prayers of gratitude. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I was like, that's a great idea. I think I might do that. Anybody want to have a bonfire earlier? So anyway, Araceli, we might be coming to your house for the bonfire, on October 17th. But that's the energy. That's huge. Have a gratitude party, because what you prayed for on April 8th, especially if you listen to me and I told you ignore all this shit about going inside and not doing anything on the 8th, and you came outside or you did what you had to do. I flew across the country to be on top of a mountain collecting crystals and shit. You feel me? That your manifestations, your dreams, your prayers, your conspiracies are guaranteed on this new moon. I mean, on this full moon, not on it, but around it. It's coming. Don't even question it. It's inevitable. It's coming. And so that is a perfect day to express gratitude for what is already certain. Okay. That's huge. Let's see. The other thing that is happening on that same full moon is Venus enters Sagittarius, which is also profound, because they're saying because of the energy in Sagittarius, Venus in Sagittarius, Venus and then Sagittarius doing Sagittarian-like activities, being engaged in Sagittarian-like events and energies and shit like that. So the recommendation was to go to festivals or go to parades, cultural events, festive events on the same day, on the full moon, when this is a full moon in Aries, but it's also the same day that Venus enters Sagittarius. Okay. October 22nd is when Scorpio season begins. That's a whole nother thing we'll talk about, but it's huge. And then 10/27, the asteroid Vesta enters Libra. The energy, which too was interesting, because trust your intuition. I really want to struggle for that. Trust your intuition. I don't care. Sometimes we be feeling things intuitively, and then we'll check ourselves, or we'll stop ourselves like, that's weird. Why am I thinking about that? Why I want to do that? Why I feel inclined to do that? And we'll, because of our conditioning, we'll stop cold what we're feeling, even if we can't explain it. We're feeling something intuitively, feeling drawn to something, feeling compelled to do something, but then we stop cold. We stop ourselves because we pull ourselves out of our intuitive state. I've been having so many intuitions this past week, and not preparing, not looking at my weekly astrology and none of that. Right? I've only been doing that for the past 48 hours, but when I actually sat down to prepare for this, I was like, oh my, I said, oh my God, like 12 times. It was like my intuition was so fucking on point without watching a single astrological video this week. So on point. Even how I told you I felt judged because it was like, you need to stop eating out, and how the eating out was actually impacting my money. You feel me? And so don't eat out. You feel me? That'll address your money. It was just so many things, but there were other sharper things. And so pay attention to your intuition and go with that. Go with that. That's a part of the season we're in. So go with your intuition, and 99.9% of the time, you won't be wrong. Okay. Next thing. Oh, so the reason I mentioned that is with the asteroid Vesta in Libra. So one thing that they're talking about with the asteroid Vesta is it is a representation of, quote, your soul fire. So this goes back to what I was just saying about the power dynamics with Pluto stationing direct in Capricorn. The power dynamics typically in those relationships that are closest to you, your social relationships, your friend circles, your extended family, your mom, your dad, your brothers, your sisters, your children, being mindful of those, because again, the whole month is ruled by an energy of meticulous communication, right? So even if there's these power struggles, being mindful about how you communicate within those power dynamics. You don't want to cause permanent damage or conflict to relationships that so it's like the power dynamic and the conflict may be leading you, into aggressive expression, and to be mindful, even if you have a legitimate concern, beef, or gripe, to be mindful about how you articulate it. So I don't know if y'all have noticed something particular about tonight. I haven't said too many explicatives, maybe two. And y'all know I'll be peppering and seasoning them in all throughout. I have been really mindful today, even in traffic, about my communication, right? Because it's a huge thing for the month, and I want to power up. So even in that way, right? So anyway, but asteroid Vesta, when it talks about soul fire, it's again talking about those close relationships, those relationships in your immediate space. It may be lovers, it may be partners, or it may be family, mom, dad, whatever. But the other thing is Vesta is the goddess of home and hearth. Vesta is the goddess of home and hearth. And so the energy of Vesta was saying that from the 27th of September, even though she is not really fully on the scene until October 27th, her energy is still palpable now. But since the 27th, Vesta has been on the scene, and she is the one that really is really concerned with your home, your immediate surroundings, and in particular, your kitchen. I was like, what the fuck? I just heard this 24 hours ago. You feel me? I was like, oh, what the fuck, right? Because I have been avoiding cleaning my kitchen, I'm telling you, for a week. Instead of washing the dish, I just leave the dish in the sink. Washing the dish, I'm one person, and instead of just washing the dish and putting it back up, I had a whole probably every dish in my house was dirty. You understand? And it got to the point where my kitchen was so in such disarray because the thing that I'm talking to you guys about tomorrow night was the thing that had me frustrated because it's impactful and I wanted to get started right away. But Sunday, was it? Yeah, no, it was Saturday. Saturday, when I started really meditating on this idea for what I'm going to do tomorrow night, I was so far in. I was like, oh my God, yes. Yes, this is everything. Yes, this is powerful. I'm really going to put people on game. This is going to be great. And then I came home because I was like, yes, I can get started tomorrow, Sunday. And I was like, no, I can't get started tomorrow because my kitchen is a fucking mess. I was like completely uninspired by my kitchen. So that day, Sunday, I started doing the little research for astrology, called myself switching gears from the thing that I was studying the day before because I was uninspired because of my dirty ass kitchen. And the first thing this woman is talking about is asteroid Vesta and how she is the one that really governs, a clean, organized, tidy space, right? But especially your kitchen. Just the next day, I said, okay. Right? So I got up this morning, was it 5 o'clock? I got up this morning, 5 o'clock. I said, I ain't doing shit the fuck else today until I clean my kitchen. I ain't doing nothing else today until I clean my kitchen. You understand? And I mean, really clean my kitchen. Like my kitchen look like a laboratory now, which is what I need for what I am about to be involved in with this thing that I'm going to be talking to y'all about on tomorrow night. So yesterday was my official first day in my ritual for October. Today was the first day that I incorporated the social media, like withdrawing my social media, like dumb scrolling. I did an hour of social media, contacted it first thing in the morning, and then I tried to be away from it for the rest of the day, except when I went to post the notification for this. But yesterday, I fasted all day. I didn't eat any food yesterday. I've only eaten once today. So there's a lot of little details I added into the mix, but I needed my laboratory to add the most important component, which is going to be, again, this thing that I'm going to talk to you about tomorrow at 9 o'clock. Okay. All right. So that happened. Okay. But I was like, damn, Vesta just judged the fuck out of me right now. So those of you who are tuning in late or don't remember, this is my little break to announce that you can make a donation, a contribution to the Temple of Evolutionary Emergence, one of these three ways: Zelle, Venmo, or Cashapp. My Zelle is releaseheartcenter@gmail.com. My Venmo is Cassandra-Floyd, and my Cashapp is $DaughterOfTheFates. I will also take this opportunity to remind you to book your reading for the next 72 hours. If you do that, you will receive a free gift. For the 1 hour booking, a free goddess, custom design, custom made goddess necklace. And if you order a 30-minute reading, you will get a dog tag, okay, which is one of the necklaces I'm always wearing, right? Okay. So that's that. Get your reading. They are always thorough. I never get off the call until it's finished. That's some shit I'm trying to work out because I always go longer, but still, they're thorough. I'm thorough with you. I put you on game. I give you ceremony or ritual if you need it, and the like. I give you homework. Okay. So those are the most important days of the month. Now, some bullet points. For some of those, okay, that I need to, and then I'm going to shift gears. Damn, I didn't mean for this to take that long, but it's important. Okay, so the overall theme for the month, one is communication. Starting tomorrow, you really want to be disciplined in your willpower. It has the ability to give you superhuman power and focus. So again, what does superhuman power and focus means? Just what I talked to y'all about damn near 45 minutes ago. Not giving your energy away blindly to distractions. That's the focus. That's the power. Superhuman power and focus starting tomorrow when the sun conjuncts Mercury. Okay? Superhuman power and focus, willpower to do what needs to be done. Okay? Let's see. So with this eclipse happening in Libra, let's talk about it for a second, just for a second. What does this mean? Thank you, Janet Kennedy, for the donation. Can I show this on the screen? Let's see. Is there a way to show this? Or I think people can just see it because the because the live chat is up. Hold on one second. Okay, so this the eclipse being in Libra. So Libra is about what? It's about justice. Not just about justice. It's about what? Judgment. And so for the longest time, others have defined what justice is. Others who do not care about us, others who exploit us, others who use, quote, the justice system as a weapon against us, others have defined what justice is, what justice means, what justice looks like, how justice is disseminated, and how justice is executed. Somebody else has done that. And Libra, who is my aunt in Kemetic tradition, right? Libra is about divine justice, right? And so it's been interesting because I've been talking to you guys a lot about these shows that y'all have put me onto. I just got a piercing, and so it's irritating as hell. I don't even know if y'all noticed. But yeah, I just got a piercing like last week, 2 weeks ago, something like that. And the healing process is a son of a bitch. Anyway, it's interesting because Libra as the goddess of justice, Libre. Man, why is this thing so cricket? As the goddess of justice has been coming up a lot. Not necessarily the goddess herself, but the personification of the energy of that goddess, which is who? It's the fates. I've been talking to you guys so much about the fates. Not only the fates, right? We call the fates the divine weavers of human destiny, right? But not only the fates, the furies, the moray, right? Not only the furies, the Age. We just did a whole damn near 4-hour thing on the Age. Isn't the Age the fates? When you look at the mythology of the Age, which I went over in great detail with y'all about a month or so ago, when you go over the mythology of the Age in Ifa tradition, they're called, quote, the witches, right? They're called the witches of the night, right? The black Age, the white Age, and the red Age, right? What are the Age? They're still the mothers because you have the Iami, right? Means my mother, the grand celestial, the ancestral, and the current and the potential mothers. It's the embodiment of the mothers, right? The Iami. When the Iami become Age, the Iami Age, this is still the mothers. This is still the mothers. It's still the same mothers. But this is the mother as punisher. This is your transgressions have gone so long. Now, I've been nice to you. Don't do that no more. I tried to tell you. I told you 3 times now. How many times I got to tell you not to do that? When the transgressions go so long, or so far or so extreme, unaddressed and unresolved, then the mothers become the punishers. This too is the fates, is the story of the fates. The fates, as the weavers of the threads of human destiny, are the mothers. How are they pictured? They are pictured as the maiden. They are pictured as the mother and the crone, weaving the threads of destiny together, right? Determining every birth, every life and destiny, and every death. Girl, man, ooh, what do you want? Leave me alone. You're doing too much. Say hey. Everybody say hey. Oh, little nosy self. Say hey. Hey. Now go on about your life. Anyway, the Age, the fates are benevolent. It is only when mankind commits some infraction against humanity that disrupts the matrix that the Furies are sent. This is just another personification of the fates. This is the fates turned judges, turned judges, right? This is the fates turned executioner. This is the fates determining what justice looks like to resolve the energetic alteration of the matrix created by this person, whether it's through murder, like violence, murder or rape or whatever. This is what they judge, the Furies. This is all the energy of all old mythology. Where in all old mythology, the mother is the only one who has a right to cast judgment and punishment. The mother is the only one. And all these philosophies tell us that. It's right there in our face and we ignore it. And so here we are in the month of Libra, the scales of justice, in a world where the scales of justice are extraordinarily imbalanced. Because males have taken for themselves the ability to define justice that always absolves them, to define justice that always not only absolves them, but justifies their behavior, always justifies their behavior, no matter how violent, no matter how malignant, no matter how terrible. Their behavior is always justified when they hold the reins to the meaning of justice. And so here in the goddess's sign of divine justice, part of what has to happen is we have to redefine what justice is, what it looks like, how it is executed, how crimes are judged. That's what we have to do. Because see what has happened, and I believe that's part of why this brother was executed in front of us, is because again, they're trying to tell us, y'all don't have no power. We define justice. We say what justice is. We say what punishment for what we think are crimes, not against others, against the state, should garner. You feel me? And so we continue to accept the definition of justice handed to us collectively by those who have exploited their definition in opposition to us for a reason. Justice has to be defined by those who are committing gruesome crimes against humanity, so that no one can judge them. No one can execute justice against them. You understand? So this is a big month, especially because this month in Libra season is not just this month in Libra season, because we have a month in Libra season every year. This month is peculiar in this Libra season because not only is it happening within the context, again, of this Pluto returns, Pluto as Oya, the governess of justice and judgment. So it's happening within this Pluto returns, but this particular October Libra season is happening within the very short time frame of the official closing out of the transitional period of Pluto's return to consolidate the reunion of Pluto Oya with Aquarius Shango for the next 20 years. It's big this month, defined by justice and judgment, punishment. And I believe that that has to happen within the context of reestablishing a goddess-centered, matriarchally centered society on earth where the mothers and the grandmothers become the definers of what true justice, divine justice looks like, how it's carried out, this judgment, how judgment is carried out, and what the punishments look like from the perspective of the mothers and the grandmothers. That's my personal estimation. Because this thing, and everything in September is telling us that that's what it is, that women have to make the laws, that women have to establish what judgment is, women have to establish what justice is, women have to redefine everything centered around judgment, justice, so on, so on, so on. Because the whole month of September, I talked to y'all about this last week, the whole month of September was defined by men in positions of power being exposed for their power, being exposed for abuses, serious abuses against women and children. It was story after story after story after story after story after story, all month, extreme stories. Men in positions of power, men just being men, not even positions of power. This woman in France right now, whose trial is now all over the world, that had been systematically raped by men invited to her home by her husband while he drugged her so that he could watch men rape her. The young Indian doctor at work, at a hospital, taking a break, and brutalized by doctors and a security guard, brutalized and murdered on shift at a hospital by colleagues. So much. Everything. So you think about that month, and what does it all say? That justice can only be truly divinely handed down by those who have been the victims of malignant justice, false justice, which is what we experience. Women have to set the terms. Yep. So I didn't mean to go off on that, but that's what's happening. This eclipse is happening within Libra, and within the context of, again, Pluto's return. She is the judge and the jury. You feel me? Right now, she's the judge, the jury, and the executioner. Right now, Pluto is. Oya is, right? That plus the inevitable reemergence for the first time in 248 years of Pluto and Aquarius, Shango and Oya. That's big revolutionary energy. Big. That we're going to be sitting in for 20 years, right? That's happening within the context of this ancestral season. Our ancestors want redemption. They ain't just hanging out to support our life. Our ancestors want redemption. Our ancestors want justice. Yeah, they do. You feel me? And so these are the things that we have to be reckoning with the energy and the potential impact of the movements of this month. Okay. Let's see what else. Oh, the other thing that I've immediately noticed a difference that this energy, because it's going to be so heavy, the other recommendation was to be outside daily if you can be, even if it's only for a few minutes, because the potential, especially with Jupiter stationing retrograde in Gemini, is to be top heavy in thinking, ideas, stuff coming in, and not having an energetic output, like a physical energetic output, going outside, playing, running, exercising, being outside. You need the energetic output so that you don't become, quote, top heavy, right? And so I had made a commitment. I started Saturday to go outside minimally, because it's easy for me to get caught up in here behind this computer for 8 hours and be like, oh my God, where'd the day go? And so Saturday I made the commitment, before I get busy doing anything, I'm going to drive down the street to my favorite park and just ground for 30 minutes before I get busy, so I know it's done. So I've been doing that for the last 3 days. An immediate difference, because it does get so busy in our head, in our space, or whatever. Okay, so that's another recommendation. Let's see. Oh, okay. Pluto stationing direct. What was that date again? Yeah, Pluto stationing direct on the 11th. The other big thing about that day, Pluto stationing direct, because all of Pluto's movements have been significant. Pluto stationing direct on the 11th, one of the big themes is a karmic conclusion. A karmic conclusion. The karmic conclusion has you in your personal life and in the collective to go back to where you were when Pluto first entered Capricorn in 2008. This is what this Pluto stationing direct for the last time in Capricorn. This is what it's drawing your attention to. And I was like, oh my God, because 2008, but I wasn't present because I was so busy. 2008 was radical. Some ways good and other ways catastrophic. 2008 was both radical and catastrophic. And because even now I have to challenge myself to be present, it wasn't until I read that this last movement direct in Capricorn of Pluto is allowing you the opportunity to complete karma that began in 2008 when Pluto first entered Capricorn, right? For the first time in 248 years or whatever, right? So think about what you was doing in 2008, baby. Chad, I could tell you a story. I'm tempted to tell you a story because 2008 was radical. It was radical. And so I began today, this morning at 6 o'clock in the morning, attempting to close out my incomplete karma from 2008. This morning, I did that. Started the process because it's going to be a process. I'm going to tell y'all a secret. I probably have told you already, but now I'm telling you. I'm not divorced yet. I haven't seen my ex-husband face in 10 years. No, I haven't seen his face in 14 years. We haven't talked. We haven't talked to each other. We haven't talked to each other in 10 years. We haven't talked to each other in 10 years, and I haven't seen his face in 14 years, and we are still not divorced. And because he has had no impact on my life whatsoever, my immediate life, right? Like, I don't see him. He lives in another country. We don't communicate. There's like no connection at all, like at all. He's blocked on everything, no connection whatsoever. When this astrology came around, I was like, oh, and it said 2008. That was the first. As a matter of fact, what's today? Today is the 30th. October 8th would have been our, let's see, I'm 49, 39. So it would have been our 15th anniversary this October 8th. October 8th. And so as soon as she said 2008, I was like, oh, fuck. This shit is still there. Why would that be the first thing that came up if I haven't even said this man's name in forever? You feel me? But this is about the energetic ties that we still have that need resolution. This is a chapter of my life that, even though he has not had any kind of impact on my life in 10 years, it is an energetic tie that was left open-ended. And so I have to close it out. Because of this relationship, because I got married because of this relationship, which was tied to other things, I lost so much. I lost so much. I lost so much. I lost so much wealth. I lost so much. My life was radically and really negatively impacted by my decision to get married. I didn't realize that at the time. I was in love. That's all I saw. I'm in love, whatever. But obviously, when looking back on your life and decisions that you made, did the pros outweigh the cons and that type of shit? I lost so much. I still feel the impact of that decision on my life today, because I can clearly see. As a matter of fact, I had a dream this week about one of the ways that my life was radically and negatively impacted by my decision to get married. It was I didn't want to say it, but I lost my house too, Chloe Dior. I lost my home specifically because I made this decision to get married. I lost a house. So I lost wealth. Right? And so much more. That ain't even the last thing that I lost. You feel me? And the sacrifices of self I was willing to make to support my husband. These sacrifices of myself, and they were many, that I was willing to make to put him before myself, to put him before my family. You feel me? It was deep. But anyway, this is the closing out of that chapter. And even for my personal life, I feel like that's what Capricorn is trying to tell me. Like, bitch, you've been ignoring this shit too long. And you have to recognize, you have to tie that shit up, because it wasn't just about love and your heart being broken and you being betrayed. And it's also about the fact that this relationship reversed what was positive forward motion in your acquisition of wealth. So even your complaints about how your finances are right now are still indirectly, at least, tied to this decision that you made that has been left unresolved and unended. So this morning, I was like, I can't let it wait no longer. Let me go ahead and put the bug out right away. So I took some definable steps this morning before I did anything. Right after I cleaned my kitchen, I made this phone call to get the information that I needed about how to wrap this shit up. You feel me? So that happened. And so that is big. Not only go back into your personal life in 2008 to see where you were, what was happening, what you need to close out, but also go back into the world. 2008 was a monumental year for us, and it have the potential to prepare us either way for like energy. The housing crisis that was orchestrated happened in 2008, and they called it the greatest theft of wealth, the greatest theft of Black wealth since the end of slavery. The greatest theft of Black wealth since the end of slavery. That Black people, there was a New York Times article said that Black people had owned more land in 1920 than they did in 2008. Black people owned more businesses in 1910 than they did in 2008. So while I'm talking about distractions, targeting Black people. Also be mindful of collective attempts to steal wealth from the Black community yet again. Because this is what happened in broad daylight in 2008 that has not been resolved to this day. Has anybody been paid reparations for the houses that got stolen in these Ponzi schemes and shit? For this orchestration of subprime mortgage lending that was orchestrated to steal wealth, that was responsible for accelerating gentrification projects all over the country. 2008 laid the ground for that. So these are some of the things that we need to be watching out for, and we'll be able to do that more clearly when we can go back to 2008 and see what the key points, the key events were in 2008. So now we can get in front of that shit instead of being victimized by the same potentialities. That's what I'm saying. Okay. The last thing I will say, one more thing, to beware of impatience. To beware of impatience, and I'm the master of it, I'll be honest, is one thing, because I'm a Virgo, you know what I'm saying? We know it all. So it's easy for us to be impatient, right? We don't do it on purpose. We just know everything. And so when other people ain't where we at or whatever, we have a tendency to become impatient, even if it's not our intention, right? And so it's one thing that I have been mindful of over the years. But I had noticed over the last 2 weeks that I've been more quick to annoy. I've been more quick to frustrate, right? And y'all know me. I typically try to be very patient, because again, I'm always saying we ain't all on the same place in our journey or whatever. And so it calls on us, to all of us, to be patient with others so that we don't come off arrogant. We don't come off unempathetic, right? But I've been noticing the last couple of weeks, I told y'all that lunar eclipse rocked my shit. It rocked my shit. You feel me? And so when this astrologer was saying yesterday to be really mindful to not be impatient this month, I was like, okay. Because I've been feeling exactly that. Like very just quick to annoy, even quick to anger in some ways. Quick to be frustrated. And there have been, y'all don't even know, some shit I can't tell y'all just because it's not my story to tell, but there have been so many fucking crazy, big ass fucking crazy, that's me using my explicatives because there ain't no way else to describe some of the shit that has happened over the last 2 weeks. On the equinox, I got a call at 8 o'clock in the morning, 8 o'clock in the morning, telling me to start my day, to start the equinox, to set the equinox off with this fucking phone call I got at 8 o'clock in the morning on the equinox. And it had me in my way all day long. I got the call, but the information is not directly about me. Hence, I don't want to share it. But just know it was fucking monumental. And my immediate response to the information, not being present, not being patient, was to go off. I was like, no goddamn fucking way. How could this fucking happen? I was going off. How could this fucking happen? I do not believe this. What were you thinking? Not like this. I was going off. And when I say it dominated my headspace all day. I was working all day and still could not. I'm doing clients, I'm treating, and I'm still in my head about this news I got at 8 o'clock in the morning on the equinox. I said, of any other day, couldn't you have waited till tomorrow or the day before to tell me this shit that you knew was going to impact my whole motherfucking thought process for the day? That happened. But my reaction to the information as I ruminated on this shit all day, and yes, I was upset. I was seriously upset. Most of my upset came from concern, but it came out as anger. Most of my upset was out of serious concern, but it came out in my impatience as anger. So even though I was still viscerally upset, still was like, I cannot fucking believe this shit, I still was like, okay. And so I had to return that call late at night that I got in the morning and say, and preface by saying, my position, the essence of what I said has not changed. My position has not changed. My opinion about the situation has not changed. But I do want to apologize and take responsibility for my delivery. It was way out of line. It was way out of pocket, and it was not sensitive at all. And I want to apologize for that. She was like, no, you don't have to. I was like, no, yes, I do have to apologize. Yes, I do. You may not have taken it that way, but that's how it felt in my body. And I have to take responsibility for that and apologize. Right. And that is the like real time being present, taking responsibility for your behavior and your actions. You feel me? Showing up appropriately. You feel me? Whatever. But I was just, as soon as I read this about being beware impatience during this month, I was like, okay, that's what that whole thing was about, because I'd been experiencing this, like, I don't know. Anyway, that was real. Anyway, let's see. And then what had happened? And then what had happened? Is because of Jupiter's alignment, because of Jupiter stationing retrograde in Gemini on the 9th, they're saying starting the 7th, from the 7th to the 11th is what they call, I forget what they call it, but it's like money that you didn't earn, money that comes from some place that you didn't earn, right? I forget what she called it, but money that is coming from someplace, big money that is coming from someplace that you didn't earn. So what she was saying is, whenever I see these kind of placements, first thing I do is just tell people to start a lottery pool. Like, start a lottery pool, because from the 7th to 11 is big money energy that you don't have to work for, that you don't have to earn. Play the lottery. So if y'all want to start a lottery pool or some shit, let's go. But 7th to 11th is big money energy that has the potential to come to you that you didn't earn, right? Then there's some other things, but yeah, those are the big takeaways. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, those are the big takeaways. That took a long time. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Mm-hmm. So we have 6 weeks left. 6 weeks left before November 19th, which is the day I'm always talking about. November 19th. November 19th is huge, is huge, is huge. You cannot miss the opportunity. I am completing the details on the retreat that I am scheduling for the 17th through the 20th, I think. 17, 18, 19. Yeah, from the 17th to the 20th of November, which is, it's an odd retreat set of days. It's on a Sunday, from Sunday to Wednesday, but the 19th, the day of the 19th, is non-negotiable. So I had to organize it around that. So it's a 4-day, 3-night retreat at a location in northern Mississippi. This first retreat will be for Black women only. I will be doing retreats, as I have in the past, that are for everyone, but this particular one on November 19th, I felt it really important to center Black women. So I will be talking to you in more detail about this retreat, but have those dates in your head, mark those dates on your calendar. That is from Sunday, November 17th to Thursday. Is that right? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Wednesday, November 20th, because the 19th is on a Tuesday. So keep those dates in your head. If you are interested in attending this retreat, okay, and you are Black and female. So food will be provided during the retreat. There's some details I have. Food will be provided. There's only room for 24 women, right? And that sounds like a lot, but there's not a lot. So there's only room for 24 women for that retreat, which we'll promise to be monumental. That's leading to another thing. Wednesday, which is the day of the eclipse, I said I wasn't going to do any readings that day. And initially I said I wasn't going to do any lives, but what I am going to do that day of the eclipse is I am going to organize a Zoom conference. So if you want to be a part of the Zoom conference that's happening on Wednesday, email me, releaseheartcenter@gmail.com. So if you email me about the Zoom conference, put Zoom in the header. Those of you who just joined, became members tonight, put in the header, I am a member, right? So on and so forth. So if you are interested in attending this Zoom, which I'm going to do at 6 o'clock on Wednesday, if you are interested in participating in this Zoom on Wednesday, which is my ceremony day for the eclipse, so it's going to be a part of my ceremony, this Zoom. If you're interested in participating in the Zoom, send me an email and I will send you the Zoom link for that meeting. Okay, that's at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Wednesday. Yes. Okay. There's only 6 weeks till November 19th, and there's only 13 weeks left until the end of the year. We have work to do. Damn, I didn't want it to go this long, but we're gonna do it. All right, because I'm not gonna have time to do it any other time. All right. This is the throw for you guys. I'm doing my own throw on the eclipse. Right? I find myself doing more spiritual work for others than I do myself, and I have to rectify that. I have to get in front of that. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, book your readings. So right now I have 3 readings booked for tomorrow, the day before the eclipse, which is a really opportune time to get the reading, especially considering that I'm not doing readings on Wednesday. But on Tuesday, tomorrow, I do have 3 readings booked, 3 1-hour readings booked so far. So I still have room for several, whether those are 30-minute readings or whether those are 1-hour readings. I still have some space left. So book your reading for tomorrow. I think it'll be more opportune in terms of the preparation energy than getting it done the day after. But the day after is still good, a good day to get readings. So get your readings, 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 get your readings. If not from me, which I would prefer from somebody else, but get your readings. Okay. And I just gave y'all a lot tonight. I just gave y'all a lot, probably too much, truth be told. You feel me? But anyway, let me do this. I'm gonna go through these so fast. Okay. So I'm only gonna pull 3 cards. So that's going to be the temple read. I'm only going to pull 3 cards tonight because I just did a 2-hour and I gave y'all a lot of goods. I gave y'all a lot to walk away with. Then tomorrow at 9 o'clock, I have the live that I am going to do on the whole pinecone magic, thing. That's been my wormhole all weekend. It's going to rock you. I'm just saying. And it's so timely. It was so unexpected and random how it came up, how the idea came up. And I knew instantly it was like direction. You know what I'm saying? And because it was perfect timing. It was perfect timing. Okay. All right. So let's go. We got 3 cards that we pulled. I'm just going to go through these quickly. And oh, there was one more thing. Damn, there was one more thing that was making. There is a reason. I wanted to get the astrological stuff out of the way first, but there's a big reason numerologically why this month is significant. This month is big. And that's why I say every single solitary day in the month is big. Okay. So, astrologically, in pre-Gregorian pre-Gregorian calendar, um, energy, if you will, October is a number 8 month, hence the name October. So it is a universal 8 number, October. But this year, it has a number 9 energy. Let me tell you why. So numerologically, when you break down, or when you consolidate, when you reduce down to a single number, the month and the year, so this year's energy of October, which has an 8 energy universally, this month it also has, for this year, a number 9 universal energy, because 10 and 2024 reduced down astrologically to the number 9. The reason that this is significant is because, let me not word it wrong, but the reason that this is significant is because this month, every day will equal the date. Every day will equal the date because the whole month is a number 9. Why is that significant? Somebody tell me, so I know y'all still in the room. Why is this number 8 month universally? This number 8 month has number 8 energy, but also number 9 energy for this year. Why is this significant? Because I just spent a whole hour and a half talking to you about how significant this month was, because it is Pluto / Oya's last movement through Capricorn for another 200 plus years this month, right? And so it's her last move through Capricorn. Pluto is the number 9th planet. Oya is the owner of the number 9, the number of completion, as Pluto is completing her trek through Capricorn that she has been in since 2008. She is completing that trek this month, going into the first week of next month. So it's number 9. So because any number added to the number 9 reduces to itself. So every day this month equals the number, let's see, every day equals the date's energy. So the day of the month and the date of the month are the same for the whole month because it's a number 9 month. So every date and day, every day equals the date reduced, right? Anyway, so I thought that was really fascinating numerologically, right? So every date equals itself reduced. Every day equals itself reduced as the date. I hope that was clear. So, girl, you're doing too much. Come on. So that's the other reason, even though there are these big identifiable dates, boom, 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 boom. That's why I was saying every single solitary day this month is important because of the numerological significance of this number 9 month, as this trek is being completed by the goddess who is the owner of the number 9 as the 9th planet in the solar system, who hasn't been in this part of the earth for 248 years. I mean, this part of the solar system for 248 years. This is huge to me, significant to me. So any day is a big day to power up. And then you have your bullet points, which are days that are optimal. Okay. So I'm so glad I didn't forget that because of the cards that I just pulled. That's how I got on that. Because the cards that I just pulled are full of this symbolism. Okay. So the first card that I pulled is is the Eight of Bowls. I'll show that to you. So the first card is Eight of Bowls. Okay. Okay, so before we go, since Goddess Essence just brought this very important point up, how connected is it to the season in which it lands? 9 and the fall season, the mother season, the goddess season. So that was another thing I wanted to mention. Let me find where I put that note. But the other energy that is implicated that I did mean to mention, but I had so many notes, so many places, is the goddesses associated with these times of the year, with these months. So let's see. Damn, where did I put that at? Is it here? No. Dang, where did I put? Ooh. Girl, stop. Ooh. Can you move? Where did I put that at? Oh, maybe you're gonna have to move. Go. Go. Move. Move. Move your butt. Move your butt. Move your butt. Okay. Let's see. That is. Y'all should have saw me in here last night. I literally had 4 notebooks laid out, writing different things in different notebooks, so I don't keep mixing all my notes up. So it wasn't that one. Maybe it was YouTube content. Let's try that. Yes. Okay. So some of the goddesses that I wrote down that correspond with these, particularly these months, as the dark is conquering the light, right? Is the month of September is governed by Oshun. I haven't had the time yet to cross reference other deities, but we know right away Oshun is crossed with Venus, with Aphrodite, with Inanna, with Astarte. That's all Oshun energy. Those are all the goddesses that are representative of the planet Venus. Okay, so that's the month of September. That energy. This month is Kali. This month is Kali. This month is governed by Kali's energy, which again is quite appropriate considering the fact we had that long discussion about the Libra season and the redefinition of justice and the transition of power and the definition of justice from one source of power to another. Kali governs the month of October. And as a matter of fact, I didn't learn until just yesterday that her feast day, like the day that she is celebrated, is the day she is celebrated is October 31st. October 31st is her feast day, Kali. But also October in other tradition is governed by another goddess we talk about a lot, Hecate or Hecate, tomato, whatever you say. Hecate governs the month of October. And I will say this, that in the next 72 hours, when you are, studying and in ceremony and preparing yourself for the month, think about the archetypal energies of these deities that I've just named. Because like Hecate, for example, she's the triple goddess. She represents the phases of the moon. She is the queen of the witches, right? She is, she is the personification of the night, right? She's always pictured with an owl and a three-headed dog, right? She is the owner of the keys. She has a way where there is no way. She is the owner of the crossroads, right? Like there's like really focus on some of their archetypal energy to understand, even for yourself, like how to navigate through the month. Like what archetype, what energy of these goddesses do I really need to be focusing on? With Kali, even with the discussion that we had about justice and how the goddess has always been the definer of justice, the issuer out of judgment, right? And but the goddess is still the mother. Everything that she does, it emanates from a place of love for her creation, for that which is her, right? And so even as like your own mama, you don't think if your mama, even though I got my butt spanked, and I don't believe in spanking, even though I got my butt spanked as a kid, it never made me question whether my mama loved me or not. It didn't. I never once questioned whether or not my mama loved me just because she whooped my rear end. You feel me? And so that is that dual nature of the goddess, right? That where she can be the loving, she can be the black, right? The nurturing, loving, supportive, nutritive self. And when you get out of line, she can be the more masculine punisher of yourself that has gotten out of line for the sole purpose of bringing you back into harmonious union with her. You feel me? Let's see. Yep. Did you know that Diwali is right at that time as well, October 31st to November 1st? I don't know who Diwali is, but now I got something to research. Okay, let's see. I see Cruella de Vil as Hecate now that you say that the thing with the dogs, that movie popped up. I felt it was interesting. Same with Maleficent, all these dark feminine archetypes. Absolutely yes. Absolutely yes. Absolutely yes. Right. Let's see. Okay. So Kali and Hecate rule the month of October. There's a reason that I'm going in on that. Both have attributes around justice that are centered around justice, but also having the power to punish. Both of them have the power to punish. Hecate as the grand witch and Kali as the destroyer, right? And other attributes. The story that I told you about Kali and how, in the Women's Encyclopedia of Myths and Secrets says that the only way to, quote, survive her judgment, the only way to survive her judgment, is to worship at the lotus of your mother's feet. This is a way that you can atone. You can save yourself. You feel me? And then so that energy. And then transitioning at the end of October on the 22nd into Scorpio season. And so there are two frames of thought in Ifa tradition about Oya. Even though Oya's official feast day is in February, it's February 2nd, a lot of the time, because November globally is seen as a month of the ancestors, October and February are the months of the ancestors, Oya has also been placed as governing the month of November. So you do with that what you want to. Her feast day officially, regardless, is February 2nd, but some people also say she rules or governs the month of November. So that's something to keep in mind, right? And we can find other energies. We can also find other energies that would make sense. But this month of November, this year in particular, Oya owns the month because, again, Oya is in her last hurrah with Capricorn that ends on November 19th. So in the future, whatever. But this month, November, Oya owns it. Even though I'm talking about Kali and Hecate for the month of October, which is general and typical, Oya's energy is also in that month because the month is a universe. It is this year's number for this month is a 9. Is a 9. So Oya is fully up the fucking October too. Okay, especially as Pluto is stationing direct in the middle of the month. Okay, so that's all we have. I appreciate you bringing that up because I did want to mention the goddesses that we could now begin to read about, Google about, draw out certain things about their story that resonates with you, because certain things about the mythology around these deities can help navigate and help you navigate and also direct your path for these 2 months. What is it that you're trying to get from these months? What is it you're trying to win from this energy? And use those or any other deities that you can cross-reference with those that govern those months, October, November, and December, until the solstice, when the sun prevails, if you will, right? So thank you for that reminder. And I would do that. I would say, don't just stick with these 3 deities. If other deities resonate with you, then use those. Those were the only ones I got to. Chloe Dior asked about Lakshmi. That's Oshun energy. That's definitely Oshun energy, right? Let's see. And that's not a contradiction for this month, because starting tomorrow is this grand trine between Venus, Venus, Mars, and Saturn. So Venus's energy is actually extremely contradictory to the energy of Mars and Saturn. And this grand triune is the one I was telling you all the way at the beginning. The last time it happened was in 1994. So go back to 1994 and see what she was doing, that kind of thing. So Oshun is up in here for the month because of her placement right now, which begins in this grand trine tomorrow, right? So yes, thank you for drawing that out. And yes, Lakshmi is Oshun energy. Okay, they outcast Kali because she is also known as the Black Goddess. Yes. Most definitely, darkness is the original technology, especially Kali. Yes. Yes. Okay. All right. Okay, so let me go back to what I was doing. Y'all got me all over the place. All right. So the reason I went back to that, I was glad that you drew my attention back. It was because this reading, we're talking about how October pre-Gregorian calendar was the 8th month, not the 10th month. Hence the oct at the beginning, October, right? So that's number 8 energy matched with number 9 energy. I've pulled 2 8 cards and a 9 card. 2 8 cards and a 9 card I just pulled in this 3 card spread. So the first is the balls. And this 8 of bowls is really beautifully in alignment with so much of what we talked about tonight, right? This card is talking about let's see, there was something that stood out. It's challenging you. Okay, so the overall theme of the card is about your relationship to love, right? Especially in this month, this whole thing that I just gave you about the month, Venus entering into Sagittarius, Venus transiting in this trine on tomorrow. Like, there's a lot of Venus energy, all throughout the month, and all of that has an impact on love relationships. I talked to you about the Vesta and the Venus in Sag and the Pluto direct, all about family, all about people who are close to you, social groups, friends, family, so on and so forth. Love is all through the month. It's implicated in different ways all through the month. And then this card here, and there was something else I was telling you about, focusing on those relationships, not going so far outside, focusing on those relationships because there might be power dynamics that need to be addressed in these relationships. There's potential for a new boo in the middle of the month, right? Like all of these things that revolve around different personifications and manifestations of love relationships throughout the whole month, right? This first card says, I'm going to read you a quote. Renouncing the world does not mean that you have nothing, right? It means your soul is not possessed by those things around you. What did I just spend a whole hour saying? Do not get distracted. Do not get distracted. That's what that means. Do not get distracted. Do not get distracted. Do not get distracted. Do not become possessed by those things around you. What you have to liberate yourself from is the bondage that you feel. What did I say? These distractions are a way to exploit power. So that's powerless. The bondage is powerlessness. It's feeling like, damn, the world's so crazy, the world's so fucked up. I hear that shit every day. I mean, I'm living, I'm surviving, but the world's so crazy, the world's so fucked up. That's bondage. That's bondage created by these distractions. This is what it means when it says denounce the world. What I told you 2 hours ago. That is the theme of the month, bitch. Is that if you want your power back, if you want your power to serve you, you're going to have to eliminate some distractions that don't have an immediate impact on your life in the present by asking yourself, when you dumb scrolling on this social media or laid up on TikTok for 2 hours, does this shit I'm about to give my energy to by watching it or responding to it or commenting on it, does it impact my life in a meaningful, positive way in the present, right now, this minute? And if the answer is no, at least for this month, put it aside. That's energy that you've kept. That's energy that you've salvaged, right? This card says renouncing the world. Because I'm going to read, let's see. This card opens by saying you want to explore love deeper. Not just with a boo. So please don't do that. So many people, I don't get it much anymore. There's so many people, and I get why motherfuckers be out here lonely and isolated and shit, but love relationships, especially where the cards are concerned, especially in this period, I feel like we're not suffering from a lack of intimate love, primarily, not first. It's not the first thing. What we're suffering from is a lack of connection to the whole, a lack of connection, the lack of the demonstration of love within the group. And so in that absence of collective communal love, we hyper fixate on intimate love. I need a boo. I need a man. I need a partner. I need a female. I need whatever. We hyper fixate on attempting to have this gaping wound in all of our hearts filled by intimate relationships. But this hole is a representation of something that is impacting the group. You feel me? And then we get disappointed when we try to superimpose the boo into this space that can only be reserved for the group. Because once we start experiencing genuine collective love, and I'm talking about in a meaningful way. I ain't talking about I love everybody, right? That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about in a meaningful way, the expression of love for the group. It makes us more capable of pursuing maybe intimate or romantic relationships that aren't from a place of deficiency, of lack, or desperation. I hope that made sense. Because this card talks about your need, your longing right now to explore deeper expressions of love, knowing that these deeper expressions of love are going to benefit you. To go deeper is to grow you, is to help you evolve, right? I'm just gonna read this card to you because I didn't even read the whole card. I'm just interpreting, you feel me? But let me just tell you what it says. This is a quote that I didn't even read this before I started talking to you about it. There is more than human love, and you aim to find it. That's what I just said. You aim to find it. It may be tempting to think there is simply a better human to love. Uh-oh. There's just a better human to love. But use caution. You are seeking union with a divine force right now. Do not give up what you have built as your strong human companionship along the sacred way. It may be time for some changes or adjustment in any relationship, but you realize what you have while clearing the way to go on. Seek the eternal, blah, 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 blah. Anything else at best may give temporary pleasure. Renouncing the world does not mean to have nothing. It means your soul is not possessed by those things around you. Use what you have to liberate yourself from the bondage that you feel. Your inner resources. Use your inner resources. Reorganize your external environment. What did the asteroid Vesta tell us as she is entering into Libra about our soul fire? Clean up your motherfucking house. Clean up your home. Make your home a temple. That's what the goddess Vesta, the goddess of home and hearth is, especially your kitchen, because you need your kitchen to be a laboratory. The whole thing, the whole reading that the girl gave this morning, she was like, I told y'all I had already been meditating in order to get my money right and to stop gaining weight and all of this shit that's been happening. I needed to spend 1 month. That was my commitment 2 weeks ago, was to spend the month of October not eating out, right? How about yesterday? She say one of the main things is clean your motherfucking kitchen so it can be a laboratory, because now you need to cook at home. That's what it said. You need to cook at home. Every day this month you need to cook at home. I was like, damn. How this bitch in my head like this? You know what I'm saying? That's what the goddess Vesta teaches. This says here, this card says here, get your environment in order. This is your temple. This is your temple. And she woke my ass up at 5 o'clock this morning and said, don't do a motherfucking thing until you clean this kitchen. And I went in there with a fine-tooth comb, yeah, with a fine-tooth comb. You feel me? This is your inner resources. This is your temple, your home. This is your hearth. What did I say the hearth is? It's your altar. Your home is your altar. Your lap is your altar, right? Okay, so anyway, reorganize your external environment. The movement that you are seeking is internal. This is the harmonizing of your external and internal world to help you to evolve in this moment, right? Partnered with all the stuff I gave you astrologically. That's the essence of the card, right? The next card is a number 9 card. Again, here we are in this 8-9 number, this 8-9 month that has both the energy of the number 8 and the energy of the number 9. You feel me? And this is the 9 of arrows. It's one of those cards that I love a lot, because this woman here is who owns the arrows. The whole suit of arrows is this black woman. The whole suit in this deck. Every one of the arrows cards is this Oshun-esque black woman dominating the card. Okay, so this is the 9 of arrows. And the name of the card, the name of the card is Overcome Doubt and Fear. Is that not a word for your ass? Overcome doubt and fear. This month, overcome doubt and fear. What did I tell you these dudes is up to this month? Terror campaigns. All the propaganda that you see will be terror campaigns. Those who are asking you to give them your energy in the form of a vote ain't even promising you a beautiful future. They ain't promising you anything that looks beautiful. They're like, we might cut you a break, on your student loans. We might cut you a break over, but they don't even have to promise beautiful anymore. They don't even have to promise this is how we are going to be better as a country. They don't even have to promise that anymore. Now they are working off the bare minimum because you are terrorized to still support the process, to still be engaged in the process. This month, this astrology and this motherfucking card right here is like, don't do it. Overcome doubt and fear. My health drink. Let's see. Mm-hmm. Yep. I'm gonna read this card too, just because it's timely. The world appears to oppress its people. Darkness abounds. Yet you can penetrate those clouds of worry and fear by aiming into the light. You do not need to see all the answers or have all the solutions before you to act. Just point your heart towards good. Perhaps you have found something you did not expect. You have looked into the darkness and found your own greatest fear. You are being shown what you have placed in the shadows of your consciousness. What you wanted to forget has raised his head again, bitches. But only to ask if you have gained enough wisdom and strength to deal with it more fully. What did I just sit here and tell y'all about closing out incomplete karma of 2008? This pull is like a straight confirmation of, probably don't even need to do the pull. It's just a straight confirmation of everything I just spent 2 hours talking to y'all about in the astrology. But she say, you understand? The only reason I bring old shit up is because now you know more than you did in 2008. Now you know more than you did in 1994. So now you should have the confidence and the certainty to close them out in the best possible way, right? And when you are good at closing out your karma, your unresolved karma, you can be better. Why? For the whole. So you can aim for the good of the whole. All right. Yes. It may seem like a nightmare at first. You may not want to look at it, but you must accept your dark side, your hidden desires, and integrate them with your light side in order to experience wholeness. You are never given a challenge that you do not have the skills to meet. It may seem as though you are shooting in the dark, but go ahead anyway. Use the skills that you currently have been working to develop. This is your supreme test. A new surge of power awaits your success. The mask is lifted. Who is the owner of the mask? This eight and 9 month that we in. The mask is lifted as you look behind the face of things to see that your fear was merely self-doubt rather than an external enemy. Take heart, lift your bow of confidence, and shoot pure thoughts of love, strength, and highest vision. Aim for the good of the whole. That's your number 9 card. So again, the reason I say that this is a reiteration, a confirmation of what came down in the astrology that I just laid down on your ass, is because I warned you. Given the power and the significance of this month, politically and cosmologically and numerologically, given the significance of this month, I warned you. First thing, these motherfuckers are going to really try y'all in every possible way, literally every minute of the day for the month of October, leading to November 5th, when y'all go out to them polls and vote. They are going to double time their attention distractions on Black people in particular, because the last thing they need is a moment of peace, a moment of silence that can help you see more clearly. Because once you start to see more clearly, you start to come to better conclusions about how to move forward. So that's why the distractions, that's why the energy harvesting that they will be doing this month. While we're talking about this is the harvest season, since the equinox, this is the harvest season, they are going to be trying to harvest your energy. Believe that. You've already seen it. The whole month of September was a preparation of things to come this month in terms of the links that they will go to harvest your energy. That's what I started out by saying. That's the darkness that this card is talking about. But this card is saying, yes, things around you may seem dark because that's what's happening. but bitch, you know more than the regular person. You don't learn more than the regular person. So you don't even have to see to be certain of where your bow is going, where your intentions are going. You don't even have to see the mark to know that wherever you shoot the arrow, it's going to hit its mark. That's what she means by aiming for the good of the whole. And I've always told you that idea of aiming for the good of the whole in this period means being self-centered. That whatever serves you as an individual, you placing you first as a part of the whole. You placing you first. What are my needs? What are my desires? Do they align with what's good for the whole? Because if you love yourself, genuinely love yourself, then by default, you will love the group. You will love the whole. And so your desires, your ambitions, your prayers, they align with what's good for the whole because you're a part of the whole. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I say be self-centered. All those things that you were taught were not right to do the opposite. You feel me? Put yourself in the center. Do ceremony. Do self-love. Do whatever you need to do to put yourself in the center, knowing that when you put yourself in the center, everybody is served by a healthy, evolved you. You feel me? So that's what I'm saying. Have the confidence to shoot in the dark and know that only good can come from it. Let's see what y'all saying over here. This came up on my YouTube since an hour ago, and I was busy with getting kids to school. Interesting about Kali being mentioned. It's the dark, divine, feminine side of the Kamari goddess. I am Bengali. Awesome. That's what's up. So thank you for that, because that's another mention. These are the dark goddesses of this month, right? The ones that I'm telling you are indicated. Hecate, Oya, Kali. This might even be as a part of the Ajay. This might even be the energy or the apataki of Oshun as the vulture, Oshun as the witch. You feel me? Because she ain't all love and light. It might also be the aspect of Oshun that is the vulture, that is the witch, right? That is the master diviner, Oshun, that no Babalao can cast without Oshun, right? So, and then here she is, Oshun, with the bow and arrow. So that tracks Oshun as Oshun as the holder of an instrument of justice. So there you go, right? All right, cool. So that tracks. All right. So the last card, let's see, who else said something? My nickname is Loki, slang for Lakshmi X. Girl, wait, did I do a live last night? When did I do that last live? Did I do a live last night? Maybe it was a few nights ago. Maybe it was Saturday. You have to go back to see the video I did on Saturday, Fatima, for Farouk, because I did a whole thing on Loki, but I'm talking about the Nordic, god of Asgard, right? I kept saying Valhalla, but I meant Asgard. But anyway, I did a whole thing Saturday night on Loki. So you should go back, because that's timely that you would say that. Anyway, so the next card, the last card, is the Eight of Pipes. And I told you the arrows are synonymous with the swords in the traditional deck. And so the arrows really are, because the swords have always been viewed in kind of like a scary way. Like, these are warning cards. The warnings is that darkness, and I hate even using that word, but like, let me say this. I will not say darkness will abound. I will say whiteness will abound. Because again, we say that we are living in the season of utmost yang, that is dominated by what? White, masculine, solar, fire, destructive energy, utmost yang, right? And so instead of saying darkness, I really want us to adjust our language, because darkness is what we need. You feel me? And so when she's talking about being surrounded by darkness and being able to pierce through the noise, what did the first card say? Renouncing the world. That's just talking about that shit that keeps you bound in the same place. That's what it means by renouncing the world, right? to get your goals met, to get the goals of the whole met through the chaos that's orchestrated. That's what this card means, right? And so it's important to mention that. One, we have to shift our thinking. Like, darkness is not the bad. This whole month, this whole season is when the dark mother subdues the sun. When the dark, the moon, is victorious over the sun is slowly dying, getting shorter and shorter and shorter. You feel me? And so we have to lean all the way the fuck into the dark. And so I'm saying, when we're surrounded by whiteness this month, the sun attempting to subdue and exploit and absorb our power through distractions and busyness, we need to lean into the dark. We need to lean into the dark forces. Kali, Oya, Sekhmet, who else? Anybody else you can name who dark? Just name them all. You feel me? Anyway, the last card is the 8 of Pipes. So I told you, I only pulled 3 cards. I sat here and talked to you about this whole month and why it was significant. That is it's 8 energy and 9 energy at the same time. You feel me? And then I pulled 2 number 8 cards and a number 9 card in the 3 card spread. D. Anyway, let's see. Janet Kennedy says, I'm going to print out W.E.B. Du Bois' Why I Won't Vote 1956 for this senior building my mother lives in. Every senior wanted to have that vote conversation. It's people gonna be trying y'all patience over this madness right here, child. And people is in their feelings about this. Anybody that's got anything to say about Kamala, they default is, you would vote for Trump? Are you crazy? Is that what you even hearing come out of my mouth? It's like your vision is so narrow that it's transparent. It's so narrow. So let's see. Let me take a note. Boy, y'all be going in on this damn live chat. Y'all be going in. I'm chronically taking notes while I'm trying to do other shit. Y'all be going in on this comment section. Hold on. Where that's at? Okay. Okay. So let's see. Samara says, thank you so much for your wisdom. I always appreciate your teachings. I hope you know that. I have to rest now. Good night. Good night, Samara. And then Fatima Farouk says, I am registered blind. Unfortunately, this is similar amongst those of us with chronic illness and disability who have been awakened, have been having the similar insights. Yes, soul aligned itself, just discovered the goddess Circe. Okay, so let me get finished with this last card because I got to get the hell up off here. I didn't mean to be on here 3 hours, but whatever. Okay, so the last one I'm gonna show you is the 8 of Pipes. The 8 of Pipes. Okay, so some y'all, I swear to God, y'all see how we be vibing off each other? Let me just tell you what happened before I tell you this last card. I had music class tonight, right? And my first class is like a performance class. So it's just teaching us the ins and outs of performing live. And then we have to perform in front of the class. And then we have to, get critiqued by the class, observations, whatever. So that's the first class. And then the next class is my actual practicing class, right? So I'm in class tonight in the first class. And one of the girls that performed, let me just tell you how the mother be up in here. The girl performed the song Ave Maria by Schubert, right? The classical song that's sung by every Catholic in the world, right? And so I just always thought it was a Catholic song. But the song Ave Maria, before it was, she said it was changed up a little bit to fit the Catholic, to fit Catholicism. It was changed to fit Catholicism, and to be perceived as being in honor to the Virgin Mary. Okay, that's what she said. that the song that Schubert made, Ave Maria, was actually a poem that was written, quote, by a lady who was praying by a lake, and they called her Lady of the Lake. Okay, I was like, this song is about the goddess. So after she sings the song, y'all know the song, Ave Maria, blah, 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 right? Okay, she sings the song, and I'm like, oh my God, I got goosebumps. I was like, holy shit, I did not know that this song was a pre-Catholic poem written about the goddess, the Lady of the Lake. So I mentioned it to the girl, and she was like, oh my God, I didn't know that. The instructor, who is Jewish, was like, oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. Like, kind of got an attitude about a simple intervention, because it didn't take long. I was like, oh, that's really interesting. Yeah, we always hear that song. I didn't realize that it wasn't originally Catholic, but the Lady of the Lake wasn't just about some random woman sitting by a lake praying. The Lady of the Lake in multiple cultures was called, she was the goddess, the Lady of the Lake. The goddess, the Lady of the Lake. That happened tonight in my music class. And so I mentioned that because Team of Barak mentions I actually was shown the side of Mother Mary as well, actually, when my Kundalini was being awakened. And so this concept of the Lady of the Lake is coming up a lot too, because they always want to reduce her to something that she ain't. Remember, in the Women's Encyclopedia of Myths and Secrets, when in the section called Prostitution, she talks about the origin of the mythology of the Lady of the Lake. So y'all can revisit that if you have the Women's Encyclopedia of Myths and Secrets. But she spends a whole little section in the section on prostitution about the significance of the Lady of the Lake. And so here it is. This girl sings this song that everybody in the world probably thinks originated as a Catholic song that was written about a goddess called the Lady of the Lake in pre-Catholic Europe, right? I was like, damn. And then she gonna mention this right here. Anyway, the issues are what's important. They want you to miss the issues. Her dark divine side, she definitely means business. I got 8 of Pipes in my last reading with Cassandra Adeseli. Yes. Okay. Let's see. Interesting. Yes. That is all coming up on my YouTube on Random Lives. I appreciate this very much. Thank you very much. So since it's come up, before I read this last card, you have a new subscriber. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you very much. Can you please show the last card again? As soon as you went to show it, a commercial of Kamala came in. Oh no, not. Okay, I didn't get to see it. Okay, I'll show it again. I am an 8-9 life destiny path in numerology. This is exciting. And I stayed awake for the entirety, looking forward to the month. Yes. Mother Mary said she is the ancient pure woman who tramples on scorpions and serpents. It honestly made me think of Kali straight away. Okay, new ceremony, singing to water. Absolutely yes. Absolutely yes. Absolutely yes. 1,000% yes. Calling in the dark earth goddesses of Mexican mythology. Come on in the room, Adeseli. Yes. I do like the dark feminine side coming up this month. Yes to everything y'all said. Okay. I encourage you, especially Fatima, since you were the one that raised it, go, if you have the book, Women's Encyclopedia of Myths and Secrets, go to the section on prostitution. If you don't have the book, Encyclopedia of Myths and Secrets, go back to the video on my channel entitled Resurrecting Sacred Prostitution, where I cover that section and I talk about the significance and the history of the Lady of the Lake. It's not small. It's not a small thing. Okay. And that's why she's everywhere. If you think about every movie and every story ever told about King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table, the Lady of the Lake is always in it, but she is bastardized in her character projection in the story in reference to King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. So go back and revisit some of that shit. Also, there was a movie by M. Night Shyamalan called was it called Lady in the Water? Or it wasn't Lady in the Lake. It was called Lady in the Water, I think. That movie right there is worth the motherfucking. I got goosebumps just saying the shit. That movie is worth a revisit. That movie right there is worth a series. Lady in the Water. That's right. Lady in the Water by M. Night Shyamalan. That movie is worth a fucking revisit right now, baby. That shit is so deep. That shit is so deep. That's worth a visit. That's worth a revisit and worth a visit if you haven't watched it, right? But this theme about the Lady in the Lake is coming up a lot in a lot of places. You feel me? But I would say start with at least the video Resurrecting Sacred Prostitution, which is just me reading from the Encyclopedia of Myths and Secrets, that section on prostitution and the role that the Lady of the Lake plays in that whole process. Okay, that's what I'm gonna say about that. I think that was all I wanted to say about that. But anyway, okay. So this last card, the Eight of Pipes, somebody asked me to re-show it because there's a lot going on in there. Okay. The name of the card is Your Art is Your Shield and Power. Your art is your shield and power. Now, before talking about this card, this month was heavily implicated in the arts. The whole month. Starting new art or music projects becomes important. There was another one. There was at least 3 times I wrote that in here. The full moon was important because of the Venus in Sagittarius. Hold on, there was a lot. Let's wait a minute. Here's some more. Oh, there was another one. Hold on. It was the Jupiter retrograde in Gemini called for focus on art, music, and creativity, possibly as new career opportunities. Art, music, and creativity. Hold on. Yeah, so there was a lot. It was a lot indicated. And then our last card, again, confirms what the astrology said. That has been coming up as I am trying to help some ladies in the biggest brothel in Bangladesh. Fatima Farouk, girl, you need to email me. So my email address is releaseheartcenter@gmail.com. Releaseheartcenter@gmail.com. Okay. So your art is your shield and power. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to read the prayer for this card because there's some stuff in here for you. It says, Great Spirit, I am filled with light. I am burning with the fire of inspiration. That's in the read for the month. That's in the read for the month around that Pluto retrograde and around the full moon because of the Venus Sag energy and yeah. The Jupiter retrograde in Gemini. Did I say that already? But yeah. So it says, you are on fire with inspiration. I gladly take my place as your apprentice. Grant me a good teacher who will show me the way to heal with my power. I am strong enough now to overcome anger by corrective actions. I am strong enough now to overcome confusion by illuminating my mind with your words. I am strong enough now to be kind even to those who do not like me. I am strong enough now to forgive those whom I thought were standing in my way. I have energy and I am powerful. My body rejoices in the pleasures you have sent You have sent me. Your gifts now fill me, for I have given myself to you, Great Spirit. You show me the way to make my life my art. So I'll read the lesson for the card because it's short. Your creative energy is now expressing with confidence. What did the others? What did the second card say? Fire with confidence. Shoot with confidence. Direct your intentions with confidence. You don't even have to see what's ahead, right? Your creative energy is now expressing with confidence. Your past experiences, I mean, this shit is crazy. Yeah, your past experiences now give you an edge of expertise in an area where you have focused your energy. This may be in relation to your body, its health and tone, your sexuality in relationship to others, your artistic endeavors, or in achievements of spiritual disciplines such as daily yoga, tai chi, or meditation. The area, and I will say this, not ambiguous meditation. For me, I think the power and the focus that is promised in this Venus Mars trine Saturn, this grand trine between Venus, Mars, and Saturn, and the Sun conjunct Mercury on the same day. I think the meditation is the willpower and the superhuman power and focus that allows you to sidestep and avoid distractions that are going to be coming down. That's the meditation. The meditation is that I am present. Distractions cannot sway my attention. That's the meditation. Okay. That's the meditation given to us by the 9 of Arrows and then guaranteed through the astrology. Okay. So, meditation, whatever. The area in which you have chosen to channel your energy is now showing signs of your increased skill. Enjoy the benefits of your labors and continue to direct the purpose of your process towards positive global ends. In other words, if you're using material resources, be sure to give something back to the earth. If you depend on other people's energy, be sure to replenish it in some way. If your product makes a statement, continue to upgrade thoughts behind the statement so that it doesn't merely point out the problems, but also shows a way to resolution. The purpose of all energy given to you by the Great Spirit is to heal, mend the sacred hoop of life. Heal by your words, heal by your body, heal by your life. This is what I just said with this card, the 9 of Arrows, that when you become self-centered, that's what that last statement means. When you become self-centered, you heal. What it says, you mend the sacred loop of life, the sacred hoop of life. When you heal by your words, people hear your words and heal. When you heal by your body, when your body is healed, people see that and want to know what you did. When you heal by your life in action through spirit becomes the example through which others can either fashion their own way or follow for a time. You heal by being healed yourself, focusing, being self-centered in your own healing. Your art is your shield and power. What is your art? It is you living in life, focusing, channeling, as the pipes do, right? Channeling energy through an instrument. The body is your pipe. The body is your instrument. Channeling what? Focusing what? Your creative energy, your sexual energy. This is all your art, your sexual energy, your artistic endeavors, your spiritual achievements and discipline. All of that is your art. All of that is your art. Everything about this card is saying center yourself. Put yourself in the center and know that others will be made well by your example. Oh, that's a word. Goddamn. That's a word. Because I'm going to tell you, I have been judged by this astrological and now this tarot read. Because what I started all the way back from the beginning by saying was that I would tell you at the end a little bit of the details of what I have fashioned my month of October to look like. And then the astrological read. Now I've been talking about this to myself for 2 weeks about what I need to do, how I need to take advantage of October. Boom, boom, boom. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. And then damn near everything in this read was what I had already. That's why I was talking about how intuitive, paying attention to your intuition. Because I said I had made a schedule, a 6 week like health recovery schedule for the month of October. Because over the summer, there was a lot going on. There was a lot of trauma. There was a lot of incidences. And I have gained some weight. I was like, what the fuck? Why are my clothes tight? I'm not eating any different. But I was not factoring in stress and the impact that it was having on my body because I'm just going and going and going. And it wasn't until something didn't fit that just fit 2 months ago. I was like, what the fuck? And so I was like, okay, I gotta get back in my body. I'm in my head too much. So the month of October, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do a little detox, right? And so I said I was going to do a 6-week plan for myself. I am doing the study for this astrology today. I didn't read it to y'all, but I'm gonna read it now because I'm talking about it. I'd already been saying 6 weeks. This is what I'm gonna do. This is what I'm gonna X out. This is what I'm going to add. These are the things specifically that I'm going to address. You feel me? And there is a part in this astrology. Damn. Right here, where it says, one of the astrologers that I referenced in the description says, for my sign, that's why I didn't read it to y'all because it was specific to a Virgo sun. Maybe I should wait until the ad plays or shit. Yeah, I'll just wait until whatever. Anyway, skip the ad if you need to. Okay, so some of these movements, or this month for a Virgo sun, this is what was said after 2 weeks. After I have been deep diving, writing out my little protocols, self-treatment, like I'm going to start cupping my abdomen again. I'm going to start doing the morning trip to the park, to ground before I get my day started, like all of these little things, right? And I was like, okay. And so I even took my weight last night, took a picture of it because at the end of the 6 weeks, I said I wanted to post week to week what my weight looked like after the 6 weeks that I'm going to be doing this thing, right? Baby, how about she says, Virgo suns expect profound change, especially in the areas of health and body, food and money, and home, right? It said, and let me tell you, it wasn't just about the 6 weeks. The other way that I was judged, I am in the process of trying to reorganize my treatment room. And the first thing I needed to do was try to get rid of this bunk bed I bought for my grandchildren. And it's still been in there for 2 years. My grandkids been gone for 2 years. And that bunk bed has still been in there, taking up all the space. I was like, I got to break this thing down and put it on Facebook Marketplace or something so I can try to sell this bunk bed that my granddaughter slept in literally 2 times, right? And so I finally broke it down, put it up, took all these pictures of it. Okay, today is the day. I'm going to put it on Facebook Marketplace. That was 2 weeks ago. And that bunk bed is broken down, but now it's still sitting in the room, taking up space. And every day I'm like, okay, today's the day. I'm going to put it on. I'm going to put it on OfferUp, or I'm going to put it on Facebook Marketplace. And I get so distracted once I sit to this computer that it just slips my mind. The first thing she said about some things that have to happen for Virgos this month is to sell stuff. She said it she like went in, sell something. You got shit you holding on to, you need to sell. I said, God damn, this bunk bed been, among other furniture I'm trying to get rid of. This bunk bed was the biggest thing because it's taking up the most space in my treatment room. And she was like, you got to sell shit. Like you want these blessings coming, you got to sell some shit. You got to sell some shit. That was the first thing she said about Virgo sun in this month. I was like, damn, talk about feeling judged. But it's also an acknowledgement of an intuition that I've already been feeling this overwhelming sense. I have a whole box of stuff that I just pulled together to try to post to sell, that I didn't want to give it away. These are things that if I had enough space to actually display them, I would. But since I don't, I was like, okay, well, at least I can sell them, right? So that's the first thing she said, is you need to sell some shit. You got money coming, but you need to sell some shit. That's what it said. Then she specifically says, sell stuff, cook at home, and you need a complete reset. Take about 6 weeks to get it done. I said, I mean, she was specific. I literally wrote a plan down of what I was going to do over the next 6 weeks, starting tomorrow. And I started Saturday. I started Saturday, but technically starting tomorrow, I said 6 weeks because it's 6 weeks until the November 19th retreat that we're doing in Mississippi. I was like, this is perfect. It's perfectly in time for me to do some things for myself before going into this space in the retreat in Mississippi. 6 weeks, right? And then yesterday, she said, take 6 weeks to do what you need to do, because for Virgo suns, this month is going to represent a profound change in every area of your life. And it is going to constitute a reset for who you are right now. I said, damn, right? So that's how that happened. That's how that came down, right? Yeah. So I think that is all I have for you guys. Let me see what your comments are saying. Agree. Just cleared a space specifically for art that has been coming up. Okay. They have been coming in my dreams, and that is my ancestral land. Yes, Cassandra, you are that teacher. Thank you. Thank you so much. You mean Devadasi? That is what this is known as amongst Bengalis, the sacred temple goddess who were reduced to the lowest common denominator, were traditionally Devadasi. Fantastic. Put Cashapp up. Okay. Thank you, Janet, for the reminder. So those of you who are tuning in late and want to make a donation, this is janky, I know, but I left my little board in the car and didn't have time to go get it live. So Zelle, my Zelle account is releaseheartcenter@gmail.com. My Venmo is Cassandra-Floyd. My Cash App is DaughterOfTheFates, is $DaughterOfTheFates. Also, if you want to book a reading with me, especially within the next 72 hours, tomorrow is a really great day to get a reading, since I will not be doing readings on Wednesday, as I will be in ceremony all day. I am doing a Zoom on Wednesday. So again, email me. For those of you who came in late, email me at releaseheartcenter@gmail.com if you want to be in on the Zoom at 6 p.m. tomorrow. But otherwise, Tuesday and Thursday surrounding the eclipse, I will be doing readings all day, literally all day, from 10 a.m. till I think I have myself scheduled for 11 p.m. is the last reading. So tomorrow, get your reading. You feel me? And if you get a reading, if you pay for it, if you book a 60-minute reading, I will send you this goddess. And she's available in different shades. Let me hold these up. So she's available in different shades. Got a tea stain goddess and a different tea stain goddess. And they're wrapped in different wires. And you've got a short body goddess. And then you've got what I call a nude goddess. She hasn't been colored. And then, yeah. So email me at Release Heart Center if you want to book a reading. And yes, I think that's all I have to say about that. So that was long and thorough. Tune in tomorrow night at 9:00 for the Pinecone magic. I know it sounds simple, but that Pinecone magic. Okay, Janet, email me. That Pinecone magic piece on tomorrow night it's gonna be the jam. Y'all gonna love it. So yeah, that's it. That's all I got for tonight. Thank you again for rocking with me. Y'all be in here jolly on the spot at this hour of the night. It's 1:00 in the morning. Y'all still up in here squad deep. I love that. So yeah. Email me, make a contribution, ask me a question via email. As long as it ain't a dissertation, typically I will answer relatively quickly. And I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Thank you. Y'all have a great night. I'll talk to you later.